Sup, Jesterino? Sup, Jesterino? Hey guys. Gonna start the stream with some replay analysis. Sounds like a good use of your time, 7-Eleven. Sounds like a good use. This is a 3820. Why do people hate BSJ? Stick around and find out, my friend. What are your feelings after yesterday? Unprocessed, my friend, unprocessed. Not obviously happy. I actually need to go to the 13th stream real quick while I remember this. Content, video producer. 13th. Oops. Give me a second, guys.
This out. So you are. What server is this, by the way? Is this
350?
So you're gaining. So are you 2200? That's what it says on here. Or are you 25?
Oh, 2400.
Oops, that was 355. And then I did a half coaching session. I forgot to put these in. Was that last stream that I did the half coaching session? It's like 3 hours in. It's like right here. Okay, nice. 157 on the 15th. And then, okay, we're back, guys. Sorry about that. Should have done that before the stream. Just forgot. Carry player can farm lane and the hero can't farm 2 at jungle. What should you do? Can't farm. You can look for other lanes or accept that you jungle solely. That's really it. I think you can look to farm other lanes though. You can always be like, hey mid laner, do you mind if I take mid? Something like that. You know, sometimes they'll just say fuck off, but it's worth asking. Okay. 5 minutes. 5 minutes replay. Okay, guys, we're going to be doing a replay. Welcome back, everybody. Got ourselves a BSJ replay. This is a 3800 Lifestealer. Says this is duo queue with Enigma. Okay. So I know in recent replay reviews you wanted me to focus on strengths and weaknesses between my hero and the heroes I'm laning against. So my thought process in this lane was to have a stick and to rush an Orb of Corrosion to help my Enigma and have kill threat on the Tide Snap. I can tell you that's probably not going to work. 2 minutes into the laning phase, what I thought would happen, we caught Snap out of position and killed her. The rest of the lane I tried defensively aggro. Oh, okay, so you tried to kill the Snap, that's fine. Because I didn't want to spend rage to try to... Okay, my skill build might be of question, but my thought process was I wanted as much slow and ability to trade as possible. After we get that kill, I basically resort to playing quite passive throughout the lane. Okay. What I mainly want out of this is how to work out of this play passive mindset all the time and stop trying to rely on out farming people. Well, I'll first and foremost tell you, simply put, that the higher MMR you go, the reliance on out farming people just doesn't work. I think you might be aware of that, but I think first and foremost telling yourself that simply going for the most efficient route is not going to win you games. You have to worry about your farm in relativity to the opponent, right? So that's the biggest part of everything I'm going to try to teach you to do, is that it's not about how much farm we get, it's how much more or less farm we get than our opponent, right? That's Dota better thought out. So I don't like starting stick on Lifestealer, and the reason why I don't like starting stick on Lifestealer is because I only like stick on heroes that either turn the mana into HP or they turn the mana into damage. And Lifestealer only has Rage, and so he's pretty much the most garbage stick user out of every carry in the game, I think. Pretty much. Followed closely by like Slark and Anti-Mage. In the laning phase, you know? Laning phase specifically. So, like, what you're doing in lane here, I'd rather you just have damage items, you know? I just want you to hit this tide like you're doing, but I want you to have damage while you're doing it. I want you to get that CS because you have an extra 5 damage. I mean, yeah, you're already feeling the bad atomization on Lifestealer. You've actually missed, like, 3 CS because of it. It's kind of interesting. The thing is, it's like, you're getting a lot of stick charges, but for Lifestealer, they don't really do anything. You haven't even spent a point of mana yet, so...
Hello, I'm Gabe Newell.
Okay.
You've just achieved first blood. Thanks and have fun.
Early Orb of Corrosion, reasonable. So I did this math with somebody else. Oops. Did not mean to rewind 20 seconds. So towers hit for 90. That means, like, with melee creeps who have 10% resistance, they hit for 81. So if we look at this math here, 6 times 81 is going to put us at 486, okay, out of 550. So simply put, the number you have to remember is 64 damage. If you have less than 64 damage and the creep is full HP, you have to hit it once. It's really that simple. So you have 57, less than 64, you don't hit it once, miss the creep. Pretty uneventful laning phase. Your Enigma's kind of doing what he's supposed to do. Largely play outside of lane, make use of his denies, pull camps, and then he's just giving you solo XP. That's fine. I mean, it's not the best replay for you to learn to be aggressive because you've got a very passive 5 who's kind of meant for you to outtrade the opponent in terms of levels. Not sure why you're farming small camp here. I would just be laning. I don't think you're incapable of laning. I also think you should have 1 point in rage. They have a combo that goes on you, Gush plus Cookie. So it's kind of weird that they have an exact combo that you would respond with a spell and you don't have it. So I think a big problem with the way you think about Dota is you don't think about, if the opponent does this, that's what I would do. If I do this, that's what the opponent would do. So a big part of understanding if you're stronger than the opponent is if I run at them and try to hit them, what happens? If they try to go on me, what happens? So not leveling Rage tells me you're not thinking like this, because as a hero like Lifestealer who has 2 passives, that means you're going to trade pretty efficiently. The goal is to constantly force the opponent to trade with you and cast spells, right? And the limit you have to find is how many spells can I force them to use where I don't take so much damage that I'm losing the lane. So it's just an example where if I know I do something and they have to defend themselves with spells, and I have a spell that's like an immediate response, it's going to allow me to play much more aggressive. So you mentioned your skill build might be kind of Papega, but against a lane like this, I would definitely take a point in Rage. Probably around 4. Probably level 4 I would take Rage. Heh. Heh. Okay. Yeah, so you're not really in a lane where you do much to the offlaner until later. So doing what you're doing where you're pushing in the lane as fast as you can and then farming jungle, this is pretty standard. Honestly, in games like this, I often go Midas because you're noticing that you're kind of just hitting him and he's walking away. He's not really fighting back, right? So I would go Midas here just to do exactly what I'm doing already. So notice your job in the lane is kind of just to occupy it while pushing it out when you can, and then doing this when there's 2 heroes here. So like this is exactly the playstyle of Lifestealer. I'll be honest and say that I don't think Lifestealer is a good hero for you to learn the problems that you have, because the way Lifestealer operates is, since he's a passive-based hero, that he operates way better with levels. Like, usually heroes with passives, if you think about them, scale really well in lanes, such as like Ursa, Monkey King, Lifestealer. It's like once they get like level 3, 5, you know, they get more points in their passives, they just trade better. So generally speaking, these heroes with passives, not always, but generally, will play relatively passive in the early levels, and that passivity, as long as they're getting CS, actually gets promoted. Like, it's encouraged for you to play passively early levels most of the time because of that. So an exception would be Anti-Mage. You know, not a good hero to pick right now, but Anti-Mage, even though he has a passive, it scales pretty poorly in the lane, and his other 2 spells don't really scale at all either in terms of the laning phase. So Anti-Mage with a passive is meant to be very aggressive level 1 and 2, while being generally passive level 4 and 5. So all I'm trying to tell you is that I want you to work on overall understanding if you can be aggressive or not, and I don't think Lifestealer is the best hero for you to do that. It's fine if you want to play him. I'm just saying it's not going to help you necessarily work on this all that much. But yeah, pushing out the lane and jungling. So the way I view Lifestealer is I ask myself how much my team needs my help based on how the other lanes are going. So I usually do a general check-in around 8 minutes and just see, you know. And I see that mid lane's about even, a little bit losing on our side. Top lane is level 7 to level 7. So both my other lanes are pretty chillin'. So the reason why I view Lifestealer this way is because if you look at the hero's kit, he hits one guy. Like, that's his entire shtick, right? He just hits one guy. So you don't really want to participate in the game unless you have to. Like, the hero's fine to do it if he can, or if he has to. But if I'm in a really good Lifestealer game, I'm 0-0-0 at 15 minutes. Like, that's just the dream Lifestealer game. And that's meaning, like, the game's going well for my team, and I haven't left my lane, and I'm unkillable, and the opponent can't push my tower because I'm just sitting here farming. So I just want you to know that that's the role of this hero in the early game, is to be a wall in good games for the hero. You know, his worst matchups are ones that boot him out of lane, because there's heroes that get booted out of lane by things, right? And it's like, okay, it sucks, but as Lifestealer specifically, your job is to be in lane. So the hero's worst matchups are the matchups that boot him out of lane. Like, those are the absolute worst matchups for Lifestealer. These are like Razor off lane, Slardar off lane, potentially Legion off lane, depending on the combos. But yeah, just generally physical damage, BKB piercing, disables that boot you out of lane. I just want you to understand conceptually. I haven't actually made a guide on Lifestealer, even though he's one of my top heroes. So all I'm telling you in terms of buying a Midas or not, a lot of people are buying Midas on Lifestealer this patch, myself included, is that is your job. And if you can do it with a Midas, you should buy a Midas. Okay, that's what I'm basically trying to say. So as Lifestealer, the only question I'm really asking myself at this point in the game is how long am I allowed to stay bottom? How many heroes on the enemy team does it take to boot me out of this lane? And at what point do my teammates need my help? So if you buy Armlet and you end up just sitting bottom, I don't like the Armlet. I would have preferred Midas. But if you buy Armlet and you get really active in the game and you start killing people, then I'd prefer Armlet, right? So that's something where you kind of just get a feel for that and go from there. So yeah, pretty standard Lifestealer play. You seem to have a good idea of how to play the hero, whether or not that's just how you naturally play or what have you. Please level your talent to 10. Very good talent. I don't know if you realize it's 30 attack speed. That's pretty insane. Yeah, it's kind of painful you're not leveling your talent. I'm not really sure why. Going to that camp's 100% overly passive. So you're running to a camp because Void Spirit's here, and I guess if Void Spirit shows up, it's okay for you to leave, but your Infest is so important, dude. Your Infest is a... Okay, so here's how Lifestealer works. Your entire job is to occupy bottom lane, right? That's what I was saying. The rage is, oh shit, people are here, they're going on me, press rage. Your Infest is, okay, in the middle of my rage, are they committing? Like, are they running at me, or am I gonna die when I come out of this rage? And if the answer is yes, then you infest something, right? So by not leveling Infest, you are telling me, as a Lifestealer player, that you believe no one will come here, and there is no way you would ever die after pushing Rage, okay? There's just no way. Meaning, like, you don't want to Rage TP out, okay? Like, you'd rather Rage. You're a Jug that can make the opponent have to make you spin TP twice. Do you know what I mean? You Rage, Infest, they leave. Then they come back when you don't have Infest, and you Rage TP. So, not leveling Infest by 12, I mean, this is, I don't know what you're doing. I feel like you're just like, I didn't level it this till now, I'm gonna commit. You know? Just weird. I really, truly believe, with all due respect, my friend, that you just don't think about what your spells do. Like, meaning, like, not like literally what the spell does, but what your spell allows you to do. Okay, so what I mean by that is, if I'm in lane and I get ganked by 3 heroes, I can Rage. If they keep chasing me because they're committed, they've got enough heroes here, I can Infest, which means I can occupy the lane in more dangerous situations. You know, the limit to which it takes to boot me out of lane is higher because I have Infest. Not that Infest puts me in a unit and I control it. Like, that's the difference between understanding basically what a spell does and what it effectively does for you in the game. So... yeah, I feel like you need to, when you play heroes, you hopefully need to be able to tell me or whoever you're playing with or whatever what your spell allows you to do in a game, okay? Not just like what it actually does. Because I think a lot of this is contributing to your issues as a player. So you use the Armlet to be aggressive on the map. Like, you show up to a fight rather than... you know, playing more of a AFK lifestyle here. I'm just telling you, as Lifestealer, in this type of circumstance, I'm just telling you what I would do, is I would see this top, and I would kill bottom tower. I would see this, and I would kill bottom tower. That's what I would do. Because, first off, you don't have Infest. Second off, you're a Lifestealer. I just don't generally want to come to this fight unless I think the opponent's getting a crucial objective off of it. I want you to realize that if your team gets wiped 3 for 0 and you take bottom tower, or you force somebody to TP bottom and then you TP top and take top tower, that's actually really good. Like, really impactful stuff that you can do. Maybe a different Lifestealer player would give you a different reasoning here, but I would 100% stay bottom here. Not even close.
A dominating performance.
Ends up working out, though. Got our Infest leveled up in the middle of the fight. Still can't believe you don't have your level 10 talent. One of the best level 10 carry talents in the game. So the reason I hate Lifestealer and doing these TPs, you'll probably feel it if you play enough Lifestealer, is the way Lifestealer works is he likes to make the opponent consistently not have enough numbers to kill him. And whenever you die and you have to like go somewhere else on the map and the opponent has like lanes pushed in and all that kind of stuff, it makes it way easier for them to kill you a second time. I've noticed, I mean, I lost a Lifestealer game recently where I was absolutely free farming, and I kind of got lazy and tried to get fancy and save my support instead of just getting out myself. They killed me that one time, and then they killed me like 2 or 3 more times. What I basically am trying to say is I don't leave areas as Lifestealer unless they forced me to, because they have to make me leave. Meaning, like, I am a hero that my entire strength is to just occupy a place that I am farming. So it's like, think about no individual hero, for the most part, unless it's a really bad matchup for Lifestealer, will make you leave a specific area. That's why these bad matchups are so bad for him. Because, like, Ursa's, Slardar's, Razors, you know, if I want to occupy bottom lane and Ursa TP's there solo, I have to leave. You know, and that just sucks. And you end up getting forced into fights like this. But then you're going to reset the map, and I feel like you're likely going to get dragged into more fights. That's generally how this goes on Lifestealer. I would just much prefer to make somebody come to the lane that I'm in currently, and that be my trigger to leave, rather than what you just did there. Every hero is different, though. So it's, you know, that's Lifestealer specific advice. You end up going back top, taking the tower. That seemed a bit forced. No black hole. You're pretty close to a Deso. Definitely just down to chill and farm.
There is little hope for Radiant's middle tower.
Okay. You hit a power spike there, showed up to a fight. Seems reasonable to me. You make your way back to the part of the map you want to play. Good for you. Like, this is overall pretty good map movements. Yeah. I think this is a really poor recognition of how you die. I'd say AC is not a very common item on Lifestealer anymore. It's mainly against heroes that kill you purely with physical damage, such as Ursa, Slardar. Like an overwhelming amount of physical damage. You already have Armlet and Phase. Like, you have pretty decent armor. This hero actually has pretty good agility gain for a strength hero, 2.6. So, buying armor items on Lifestealer is like an absolute necessity when you buy them. Like, anything more than an armlet, I mean. Like, you just don't buy other armor items. So, like, in this game, I'd go S and Y because, you know, they have a relatively high amount of magic bursts, decent amount of disables. I just don't like these items. I think they'll, if you want to go Deso, that's fine. But, like, you definitely need an S and Y after. I probably would have gone Armlet, Casual, Sange. But I also would have had a Midas, so it's kind of like a lot of things change about the game, right? I really don't like this AC, though. Okay. So here's your issue as a player. You see 3 heroes top, and your response is to walk towards them. You are a hero, just like Jug, that can rage TP. Okay? This applies in the laning phase. This applies when you're farming in the mid game. This applies when your team is getting their buildings pushed. The entire strength of your hero is for the most part, not a single hero in the game can force you out of an area. That is the strength of your hero. Like, that is what makes any hero with natural survivability very strong when they're farming side lanes. Okay? So what's basically happening is you're not actually forcing the opponent to defend the towers in the lane you're in. You're not actually forcing them to gank you at any point. So what's happening is the opponent's just always together because they're not separated to try to kill you. So, yes, you died here. I think that was just a poor recognition of people missing. But, like, generally speaking, all of your rotations have been reactionary, and you haven't chosen to force them to come to you. That's my general issue with your vision as Lifestealer, is that's how this hero wants to play. Think about the fact that you can always force favorable numbers because they have to gank you. So you're going to take a 5v5. Might work. Nice, black hole. Yeah. I would say it's definitely GG at this point. Like, Lifestealer does not function in these type of games when you're losing like this. But yeah, I can see your silver tier on Lifestealer. I know you have like a few platinum / master tier heroes, at least platinum. Yeah, your way of playing the map as Lifestealer is poorly understood. And that's totally fine. I had a Lifestealer coaching session on a guy that's like a year old, and the guy only plays Lifestealer. I highly recommend you watch that. I can try to find it. If you can't find it, just message me on Discord if you can't find it. Yeah, it's all about how to play the map on this hero specifically. And I do need to make a guide on this hero. He's just not the greatest right now, so I'm not really making a guide. But what I want to emphasize to you is that when you are farming as a carry, the opponent naturally wants to chase you. And I want you to consider how your hero interacts with this. Like, certain heroes like PA, it is cat and mouse. It's like, I need to dodge these guys at all times. If they get on top of me before I TP, I'm dead already. But like with Lifestealer, you can play a lot more past your limits, forcing them to go on you and such, because you have a reaction. So I highly emphasize thinking about immense amount of pressure on small areas rather than responding to fights. So like when your team fights here, you know, prioritize hitting this tower. And then when they TP here, you can TP top and freely take the tower. Everything you're doing in the game, you're playing almost like Terrorblade. It's like reactionarily showing up to fights, trying to get a kill and push the tower, and then you just die because you're a Lifestealer. You know, you died at the top tower here. Like, this just isn't how Lifestealer functions as a hero. I know you play a lot of Terrorblade, so I can kind of see like the Terrorblade playstyle that you are exhibiting. I will say, if you're having issues forcing people to respond to lanes, Maelstrom's your go-to item. Makes people chase you around the map a bit more because your hero, unlike Jug, for instance, doesn't have a natural way to clear the lanes really fast. So if you need to force people to react sooner, Maelstrom's your item, not Battle Fury or anything like that. Maelstrom. And yeah, so thanks for signing up, buddy. Hope you learned something. Next one. You go through the Discord to access all of this content. If you are a subscriber, you just !Discord. You connect your Discord to your Twitch, and then there's a exclusive YouTube channel that has all the. I mean, I can just show you. It's like you match your sub to Discord. Oops, wrong screen. You match your sub to Discord, and then there's a exclusive YouTube channel here, and it has like all the coaching sessions. So Let me give me a second, guys. How do you manage both work and Dota without mentally exhausting yourself? Well, for me, obviously Dota is work, so it's a bit different of a question, but it's like, you know, I try to have other things that also mentally stimulate me. So the biggest part about it is that, you know, if you have work, you have to prioritize a balance between the two, making sure you're working enough, at least hitting whatever bottom lines you're supposed to hit for yourself. But then after that, it's like, you know, if you have to understand how much energy you have, like how much gas in the tank do I have? So if I have gas in the tank for 3 Dota games on top of work, then I play 3 Dota games. Because if I play 5, then, you know, I'm going to be exhausted the next day for work. And then it's going to start this perpetual cycle. So it's a lot about self-awareness, man. How much energy do you have? How much space for extra things do you have, you know? Everyone's different, so... I just preach to you guys, 95% of your issues will be solved only by self-awareness of what's happening. It's not easy. It's just reality in the sense that when you ask questions like that, it's a good question. A lot of people go through that kind of thing, but it comes down to like being aware that you only have this much mental energy for these things. And not overdoing it, because if you overdo it, that's how we lead to burnout and, you know, yada yada yada. Favetti and Swim the Tricycle with the 2 years. Thank you. And Afterthoughts subscribed for 3 months, saying, I've gone from 1,800 to 3,000 since I subbed and watch your YouTube videos. Chat, this is your cue to sub and increase your MMR. Now trying to reach my peak after a small break. Hell yeah, man. That's a lot of MMR in 3 months. 1,200? Pog. Good for you, buddy. Why the flat tone, BSJ? I'm just talking. Honestly, just talking about dotes. Sorry if it's monotone, I'm just talking. I don't feel like... I feel mentally energetic, but emotionally not. You know, like... I went to TwitchCon and shit this weekend, so I've been socialed out. I just want to work, you know. Okay, got ourselves a 3,500 MMR carry. He rejected his humanity. That too. Okay. Quick ad, and then we'll start the next one. It's going to be like 36, 37 min replay. Okay. Okay, for some context, this was the first time I've done this, but I had this guy. I watched his replay a week or two ago, and I told him, like, we need to stop watching this replay right now, and you need to fix this. So what happens as a carry right now is that your impact in the early to mid game, largely, this has kind of just evolved over time, is that you need to clean up lanes. And most of the time, cleaning up lanes is your top lane as Dire and your bottom lane as Radiant, and eventually you'll shift to the mid lane. Because notice how, like, as carry, since you're farming, and most carries aren't strong enough to pressure early, it's your job to, like, relieve pressure and give your team time to make space for you. I know that sounds weird, but that's like the goal of the carry. Basically, if you don't do this, the enemy generally will get free towers and thus take over the map. So by the time you're actually online, you just have no space left on the map. So what that's led to is that if you're really strong as a carry, you're going to play this area of the map. Like, if you notice when I play Bristleback in good matchups, I'm literally playing this area for as long as humanly possible. I'll be here for like 17 minutes. And the idea behind this is that this tower is the most important tower for the opponent to take. Same with this tower. So if I can be a carry, and I can be farming, and I'm defending this tower, that means we're just winning. Like, it's really that simple. We're just winning the game. So, what happened was, he was playing TA. He was super free farmed. He was like 3-0, and he farmed his way here. Nobody on the enemy team was ganking this tower, and he just went to his triangle. The enemy team took this tower, and he just lost all map control. And they just lost. And I said, okay, buddy, we need to stop this replay right now, and you need to fight for your entire life to stay in this lane. And if they boot you out, they have to specifically bring enough heroes, a combination of heroes, that got you out of this lane, and you have to be as sticky to this side of the map as you possibly fucking can. Because he just defaulted to leaving to the triangle, because it's efficient. But that's just not Dota anymore. That's just outdated. That's antiquated thinking. So let's see exactly what he learned. His comments was, he played a decent amount of games, specifically trying to emphasize my instructions. I mainly practice it with Alk, but here is a TA game, because the last one was a TA game, where we were a 4-man party, although my support was not part of our party. I picked TA mostly for the enemy Pudge pick in the first phase. All in all, although it was unranked for practice, I think it was a decent game emphasizing implementing what you said. Mainly be interesting to know what improvements you suggest, especially after the laning phase, when the top tier 1 is gone. Sure, man. Let's check out what you did. I actually remember your laning mechanics being pretty good. So because this is like a half replay analysis, and I don't care about your lane because that was fine. Let's just fast forward and see what you have going on after the lane. Yeah, so it looks like you're 1-0. Mediocre CS, but TA generally has a little low CS at this stage. Just go ahead and check net worths. Just, yeah, your number 1 net worth. Very similar to the last replay I watched. Okay. Okay. So what you learned here is that the opponent has kill threat on you in lane, and you return to the lane too far up. Anytime I'm against heroes that naturally deal with my survivability mechanic, I never play up here. In this case, Ember's Flame Guard naturally deals with your refraction quite well. Could be whatever hero you're playing, right? If I have Jug or Lifestealer and they have a BKB Piercing Disable, TA with refraction, I'm a blink hero and they can prevent me from blinking, this kind of stuff, right? So generally what you should do in these type of scenarios would be to return to your lane where it's closer to your tower, but it's fine if you just underestimate their ability to kill you. But the whole idea of what I talked about defending this tower and such is truly understanding where in the lane you're allowed to return without them killing you. I feel like what a lot of carry players in your bracket do is they'll die like that and think, I can't occupy the safe lane anymore, so they just leave because they don't want to die. While I'm telling you, you need to very carefully calculate your positioning in lane, and if you're really far up in the lane and you end up dying, your response should be, where exactly in the lane could I have shown without dying? The criteria for leaving your safe lane is that you're like literally getting dove underneath your tower and you just die. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's like the criteria for leaving your safe lane. And having like a little bit of foresight maybe to guess that that's going to happen is even better because then you can avoid the death. But all I'm saying is that I don't know what exactly went through your head to go there. Everyone's a bit different. But I hope these type of deaths don't discourage you from playing your own safe lane. So notice when you come back to lane, how inefficient it is for you. So it's 8:35 that you came back to lane, and it's 12 seconds before you hit an enemy creep. So every time you return to lane, you need to ask yourself how long it took you to actually hit a creep. So what that means is that 12 seconds could have been spent 3 seconds of it walking over to here, 5 seconds of it killing the jungle camp, and then you're probably going to be a bit late to lane. You'll miss like 1 creep, but you got a medium camp in the process, right? So this is just inefficient. You showed up the lane too early again. In this case, instead of dying all the way out here, you showed up to the lane right here, and you had to wait for the Ember to clear the wave for you. So notice how the degree of which your ability to show in lane varies from here to here. Up here, you died. Here, you showed up in lane but couldn't really hit the creeps. And then once the lane got to about right here, you feel safe to hit the creeps. So these are the things you need to be aware of, because this is efficient rotating between the safe lane and not. I guess I could have assumed, I didn't really think about it, that if you leave safe lane early, like I saw in the last replay, that you're naturally, or that you are bad at choosing when to farm the safe lane. And that's fine. That's a skill that, as long as you're aware you need to develop it, you'll get it. So right now you're jungling. I need your perspective to see this. I need to see what's going on here. I also need to see what's going on here. I teach all my carry players now. Literally every session I have to remind people of this, that your job is to monitor the 2 lanes next to you. So for TA, since it takes a lot of micro movements while you're actually farming the camp, generally you have to actually look at these lanes while traveling from camp to camp. But yeah, so it's totally fine on TA specifically to jungle like this and ignore top lane if nobody's pushing it, because you actually farm jungle, faster than you farm lanes. So you're going to make your way back to top. This is good. I like this rotation overall. You're being more, this is much better than last time. You're going to push out the lane. Going to go jungle again. Sorry about the train in the background. You are going to push out the lane again. Yeah, so I think you're being a tad inefficient staying in lane. I think you could be prioritizing more jungle camps in between the lane. So just think about the time that when you push the lane into their tower, you have time until the lane makes it all the way back to your tower to actually be here again. That you have to be here. So sometimes there's a good reason to be here, but most of the time we just want to get maximum CS per minute, right? So yeah, there's definitely just a little bit too much time being spent in lane. Try to weave a few more jungle camps in there. I also remind you that every time you're doing this, I want to be looking here just to see what's going on. Is this guy popping Flame Guard, pushing the lane faster? Is this guy full health, full mana? Is he like missing mana? So like I would have returned top there based on what I see on the map after this hard camp here. Like after this hard camp, I see that Ember is pushing the lane. I see that my team is pressuring bottom, and I saw an enemy hero bottom. 2 enemy heroes are dead. This is like the perfect indicator, everything you see here, that you can safely return to your safe lane, and that there is a creep wave being pushed into you. So the fact that you keep going right, another poor judgment of whether or not you return to top lane. Your job when you play this part of the map is returning to the lane at an efficient time. And as long as you iron that out over time, it'll just get better, okay? It'll just keep getting better, keep getting better. So the fact that you're staying here is going to be new to you, right? So I totally expect your returning to lane to not be necessarily efficient, because last time I saw you, you just left the lane entirely. So there's no way this has been refined for you. And that's totally fine. Let's just get on the same page that pretty much all you need to do in this stage for yourself mentally is, when do I return to lane? So notice how you farmed your way all the way through the jungle when there's like a fight going on mid. Like look at all the heroes mid. I need you to take this as a trigger to rotate back to your safe lane. It's so important you rotate back to safe lane here, because when these heroes go missing, you will no longer be allowed to go back to your lane, right? So this is farm that's safe now. Why is it like not showing? What the fuck? It's safe now, but it's not safe in the future. So I want you to think, by returning to your safe lane right now, if you look at the timer, you're effectively going back to farm 1 creep wave instead of a big camp, which is about this. It is actually more farm. And then what that's going to allow you to do is, when the opponent separates from mid, you're going to be farming away from them. You're farming backwards. So it's going to be much harder to gank you. But if you farm the safest area on the map when they're all showing like this, and then they go missing, you're going to be, all the farm that you want is towards their side of the map. So that means you're naturally going to collide with them on the map, which is not good, right? So I want people to think that like advancing on the map when the opponent gives you the opportunity to is super important. It is so important. It changes everything. It lets you dodge fights. It lets you create pressure. It forces the opponent to react to what you're doing but not be able to catch you. And so every time you see heroes and you're farming here and you keep farming backwards rather than returning to lane, that's when you're messing up. That's why you don't feel the benefits of playing this part of the map. See? See? Oh! Oh, imagine if you were farming backwards this whole time and you were over here now. Oh my god, it's just so perfect. I love Dota. How predictable is that shit? Oh my god, it's so predictable. It's so fucking obvious. Holy fuck, Dota's so predictable.
Dominating, I guess.
This is not pre-recorded. I can put a tape measure on my head. I cannot put a shoe because that's gross. And then I dropped it. Not pre-recorded. Yep, same thing here. So I like that you're really committed. Okay, I like that you're really committed to going back to your top lane. The issue here for this entire replay is that when the opponent shows elsewhere, you continue jungling. When the opponent doesn't show, you walk up in lane. That's like the entire issue here. So every time I go to my own safe lane, I need you to understand, you are putting a target on your back. You are standing in front of a tower that is important to the opponent, and you are also showing. So you're just like, hey, come get me over here. So what that means is every time you show in this lane, immediately you need to be thinking, where is the opponent? And if I don't see them, they're likely looking for me, right? They probably saw me. Some trigger went off in their head where they saw you, and they're like, go get him, boy, right? So right now, is the trigger going off in their head? You need to be out of here, right? Out of here, because you don't see anybody. You need to be out of here. So you saw 2 mid, but you know, you died of 3 heroes, so it's a bit different. So yeah, unnecessary death, but you're gonna now leave top. Okay. Yeah, so this is the issue, right? It's the same thing now on this side of the map. You've left your top lane. The opponent's all there, clearly, right? And right now, you have a choice between farming backwards on the map or advancing on the map. And you see everybody on the enemy team top, like they just killed you guys. They're all top. So you choose to go backwards on the map. This is literally 3K Dota, guys. Like, you guys all hit creeps decently fast, but you just don't advance on the map properly. You see heroes, you advance. You don't see heroes, you don't. It's really that simple. So the fact that you are choosing passive farm when the opponent is showing, same thing over here when they were showing mid, you went this way rather than this way. This is like 100% your issue, man. That's all you gotta fix. And it's not that easy in every single scenario, but like right now, based on what's happening here, I need this lane pushed in, right? I need you farming around this ward. I need you killing enemy jungle creeps, pressuring this tower, forcing one of them to TP here, then you walk towards mid and push that out, and then maybe you get a favorable fight off that. But either way, the opponent's not grouped, you know? The whole point of what you're doing is making it so that 1 or 2 heroes deals with what you're doing in the game at all times, and you're effectively farming really fast, and your team is fighting 4v4 or 4v3 rather than without you, effectively, right? So the thing about this fight is I don't even like being here because there was an entire part of the map at 1827 that you could have walked towards, and it's literally all yours. The entire part of the map is just yours. And I don't like going to fights if I have an entire area on the map that I could have just farmed. That's the Quakefoot rule. He taught me that. And it's after, you know, many trials and errors, after he told me that, you know, I realized he was right. Not saying I thought he was wrong, I just didn't really understand why he was right, you know. So you're gonna have to trust me there. If there's farm to take, you go take it. Farm that's advancing on the map, not farm that's like backwards, you know. Passive farm, no. Aggressive farm that you can safely take, yes. Always take it. Okay, so we turn that into a tower. You're farming your BKB. Yeah, so you have a BKB. We see a bunch of enemy heroes top. What does this mean? That means we're allowed to go push the bottom lane, people. But nope, back to Ancients we go. Classic. Classic 3Ks. Classic. Classic, classic. And now we're just hanging out with our team top instead of pressuring bottom, forcing the opponent to separate.
I guess.
If you do this exact same thing after pushing this bottom lane in, they TP somebody here to defend it, you TP here and make this exact same move. It's just the exact same thing with less heroes on the enemy team. It's literally the exact same move. Except, you know, you have favorable numbers. Because, like, once you take bottom tower, you want to make your way to Roche, 100%. But people, I think, in Dota have a hard time visualizing the importance of forcing the opponent somewhere before you leave. Because then you naturally have favorable numbers somewhere else, right? So if you want to transition from one part of the map to the other, you either, like, 5-man smoke gank across the map, or if it's individually you just push the lane in to make somebody show up, right? Those are really the only two options. So doing anything in between, like where you kind of casually made your way top, is not good. Yeah, I mean, I hate to see you guys doing Roche, and this lane's just over here. It just isn't necessary. Obviously, now I don't want you to go back and kill it. I want you to realize that, like, you could have just had that lane under control. They could have been dealing with it, and then you take Roche. So it just makes it so that when you don't properly push the lane on the opposite side of the map, when you're going to join your team, the opponent's just naturally able to contest you better. Like, it just makes sense. They're going to be able to bring resources to actually contest you. So yeah, that's the second half of your replay, man. I hope you learned something on what I was talking about. I think it's going to go a long way for you if you can start to just kind of hone these decisions. It's pretty much all based on what you see on the map and whether or not you're allowed to advance. That's pretty much it. And so you're farming the right areas now, it looks like to me. But now I need you to do it cleaner. And it's going to take a lot of ironing out, but I can tell you this is like a big deal if you like as you get better and better at it. Okay. Next one. Ranked is broken? Looks fine to me. It's okay, rhubar's on. It's okay. 0-11. Yikers. Usually people can raise to 6K-ish with no brains or strategy. There are players that are 6 or 7K that I believe play the game with like virtually no conscious thought. And most of them got there by an insane amount of games, and you just naturally accrue the right moves by playing Dota a shit ton. But the way I'm hoping to coach you guys is to make it so what you need to learn happens faster. That's the whole point of critical thinking, right? Is learning faster. MMR 4300. You just like when you can play on autopilot? I mean, generally speaking, I understand. This depends on why you play Dota, right? If you're playing Dota to like challenge yourself mentally and improve, then autopilot's your worst enemy. I think generally doing things in life on autopilot's really bad. But, you know, we all need time in our lives where you don't think all that much. So, like, you just need time to rest your brain. I think Dota's probably the worst game out there to choose for that. But if you want that to be the case, then great. I would not recommend Dota personally, but that's up to you. 56 minutes. Mr. Pot, I'm glad you enjoyed the video. I'm trying to make better content like that, so I appreciate the feedback. You sound like Yoda, Wello. I know you're probably just not a native English speaker, but you sound like Yoda. I'm going to read that. In my opinion, in low MMR games, if you are a decent player and you want to grow fast, offlane, you should play. Offlane, you should play. Such a Yoda comment. What can I do if I hate BKB? You can choose to, you know, not be prideful and buy the item when you're supposed to buy it. Like, what do you mean? BKB, you should buy. Yeah, that's the good response there. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Got ourselves a BSJ replay. It says, oh, he's queued with Grim and Dawn. This is a Monkey King. It says, BSJ in this game, I thought I played relatively well in lane and got decent farm, but having a mid Ancient Apparition and a tie that didn't do much made things hard. Fair enough. I want to know if my items and farming patterns seemed alright. Also, were the fights I joined good ones? Sure, man. Let's check it out. I think Monkey King's a really hard hero. Really, really hard hero. I always fuck this hero up. Not always, but no matter how many times I've played this hero, there's just some games where I feel lost. Like, I know what I did afterwards, but during the game itself, you know. In this lane specifically, if I had known my opponents, I would have chosen to just go stat items. Just go Wraithband and maybe eventually a Nuve. But notice how you're kind of just right-clicking back and forth. Probably would have been the same if they had Nature's Prophet in your lane, because he just has a lot of damage as well, a lot of trading back and forth. Okay. But yeah, it looks like you're playing the lane fine to me so far. Yeah, I don't think Wand is your item here at all. The enemy team is mostly right-clicks. I think Wraithband into Phaser Treads would be the dream here. Maybe Stick if you really think you need the mana, but Lone Druid pretty much doesn't cast spells. And the way they're damaging you is pretty much all physical. They can also close the gap on you pretty reliably. So I think your vision of the lane is very wrong. I would have gone 1-0-2 with Wraithband, probably just a Glove of Haste towards Treads, and I'd be looking to trade efficiently. While you're choosing the kill route, I guess that's like okay. If you guys can get kills on the Lone Druid. I don't even mind the Uv eventually for these type of trades, but if you watch the way you're playing the lane, Boots doesn't really benefit you. Also, if I buy Boots early, it's because I don't take this spell. Because Boots plus this spell is kind of redundant, generally speaking. Yeah, I feel like you're in a trade-heavy lane where Marcy can force you to fight her. And if you win the forced fights and the trades, you just kind of win the lane. So I would have been building trade items that I'm expecting to be forced to fight. So probably Wraithband, Glove of Haste, straight into Raindrops is what I would probably buy. No Wand. Probably no Phase Boots. I guess maybe Phase Boots are good because you're against Nature's Prophet in the later game because of the shard. So I guess I'd be fine with like Wraithband into Phase. Yeah, see, they force the fight onto you and then you kill them. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how this should go. I just think, generally speaking, 4K players, especially,
You guys are mechanically good, and you respond to the situation at hand. But I was trying to explain to you in the pregame exactly how this lane was going to go, where you need to win the trades and then be able to fight them once they force the fight on you with Marcy. And if you would build the same items, that's totally fine. I imagine you might not, with that in mind. And hopefully it can be like a smoother transition through the laning phase for you. I think the lane's been fine, but I haven't been a huge fan of your vision of the lane. You're just kind of winning it because your hero's better in lane than these enemy heroes. So yeah, you're doing the Monkey King thing. Pushing out the lane, farming jungle. Because you have no teammates here, I just wouldn't play here. Monkey King goes through these massive power spikes, where he is like super strong in lane, super weak in mid game, like right now, like 8 to 15 minutes. And then he's like super strong with 1 or 2 items again. And then he's like weak again for 10 minutes. And then with like 4 items, he's a god. You know, that's just how this hero kind of operates. So basically in this stage in the game, when I play Monkey King, I never feel comfortable being by myself in a lane. Like, I would just rather not contest anybody on the enemy team by myself. And the reason why is because your main source of survivability is effectively a blink dagger that if they hit you, you can't use it. So even though this guy's level 5 and you're level 7, and I'm thinking, like, we could kill this guy or we could go on this guy, if I don't have a teammate here, I'm just going to farm the small camp and let this guy push the lane into me. That's kind of just the situation you're in. The only time you can go on this guy is when you know it's a 1v1. You know, based on the opponent heroes showing on the map, that this guy is 100% alone. You know, you see 2 heroes top, you see 2 heroes mid, and you're like, okay, this guy's alone, I'm going to go on him. But, like, if you don't see people, this is kind of what happens on Monkey King, right? You're like, I'm stronger than this guy, let's fucking get him. They're like, let's at least farm the creep wave. But then you just spend all this time not actually hitting creeps. You get heroes to show up with you. Now I'm kind of fine with you being aggressive. So yeah, I would have rather you farm small camp and then do exactly what you're doing here. Dawn rotates to your lane and you try to make some stuff happen. Okay, so you're going Echo Saber. I personally prefer this type of build over like Battle Fury myself. Showing up to fights on Monkey King is great. I love showing up to fights late on Monkey King. That's the dream. When this hero is not the focus of their attention, this hero is so good. So yeah, good showing up to fight there. I don't like the move you're making without ult. I don't like camping towers like this if I don't have ult. Exactly how you're playing right there, if you don't have ult, it just sucks. So either level your ult and play like that, or don't play like that. It's fine to show up to fights, but like if you're kind of like waiting on a tower, baiting your team, and you don't have ult, it's kind of like what's your plan? The 1 second disable? So probably what I would do here, since I don't have ult. Okay, where was it? It was right here that you guys got the kill. You don't have your ult. I mean, you could have leveled it here. So it's literally like plan to push this mid tower and level your ult, or just go farm. That's like your 2 choices, both of which are fine. I would be fine with either, but choosing to camp the tower with no ult after having the ability to level it is like literally the only thing you could probably do wrong here. You're just like wishy-washy between 2 game plans, I would say. So I would have gone top and farmed, or I would have leveled ult and done what you did. Okay, so you TB to another fight. I mean, you're active. I like that you're active on Monkey King. It is party queue, though, so it's kind of like expected for you to be a bit more active in the game. Unfortunate tree cutting there. So it's weird that you didn't max this in the laning phase. Your skill build's really strange. Your skill build's so strange. This is a laning ability. So if you went back in lane to max this spell, it was like 132 or 133. This should not get maxed, okay? Like, this ability is like lowest priority when you're playing fights and the map. The only time I put 4 points in this is when I'm in a lane against a hero I'm hitting a lot, like Timbersaw, Underlord, you know, stuff like this. And it's a laning spell. So all I'm telling you is your skill build is weird, because the way you're playing the game I think is fine on Monkey King, but you have max Jingu, only 1 point stun, and no points ult. It's like, this should be 2 points, and that gives you a second point in this and a point in this, right? This spell just doesn't do anything in fights relatively to the other spells you have. Obviously, it's nice to get Jingu stacks, but... yeah. So we finally have our ult. Great. Yeah, I mean, you're just seeing what Jingu does in fights, right? You got 3 hits off with it. And it's like, yeah, great spell to have 2 points in, you know? Okay, so we win the fight. Fantastic. I mean, I like where you're fighting. I like how you're fighting. I like that you're active in the game. So you go Echo Saber first. You go back for Maelstrom. I'm okay with this. It's nice to have a damage item on Monkey. It makes it easier to play the game. Pubs aren't necessarily reliable to, like, force timings. You had a choice between Deso and Maelstrom, I would say. And against their heroes, I think Maelstrom's fine. I don't necessarily like showing up to this fight. When the wave was pushed mid, I don't like this as much. You end up getting a kill, but I think pushing this lane and then connecting to the fight would have just felt much more natural. So I hate doing this. I hate doing what you do here, where you see a fight and there's a lane to push right next to you, like literally right here, and then I run to the fight. It's like, it's not the worst thing in the world because you're a hero that likes to fight and you have all your spells. Just generally, I would lean away from leaving behind creep waves right next to you. Because, like, even if you guys get a kill and win this fight, just look at your other lanes, right? It's like at your tier 2, at your tier 2. And so you don't really turn these kills into anything, right? Which is why I don't lean towards doing it this way. Your team just kind of goes back and farms the creep wave that you would have farmed. You see what's happening on the map here. So yeah, you guys are kind of just consistently fighting top. What basically happened here is, since you aren't farming lanes properly, the opponent was never forced to separate. So you guys are trying to take a tower. The opponent recognizes you guys are trying to take a tower. And instead of you forcing them to go somewhere else so that you get favorable numbers, they have the exact same amount of heroes as you have. It's a defensive move on their own side of the map, which means that they are naturally favored if they have the same numbers as you. So I think you're kind of realizing the importance of pressuring other lanes before just straight up walking top. You're basically brute forcing a tower here. I call it brute forcing because you didn't force a reaction anywhere else, which means they can be everyone, and you're still just walking down the lane. So I basically want you to realize what the definition of brute forcing is, what the situation entails to be brute forcing, and then I just need to ask you to yourself, if I'm Monkey King with Echo Saber and half of a Maelstrom, am I looking to brute force towers? Am I looking to force a 5v5 on the opponent's tower? And if the answer is yes, then great. I would say no, but, you know, that's a judgment call for you to make. So I don't like this TP to bottom. The reason why I don't like this TP to bottom is when you lose control of the map like this, where you tried to push top and that was your main objective and the opponent still has max buildings. This is the type of situation where if you have to relieve pressure on bottom lane before you go do anything else, which is what you're doing here, you're quickly relieving pressure on bottom lane. You may be thinking, I'm killing this Nature's Prophet. You're actually relieving pressure on the bottom half of the map. So the whole point of relieving pressure on the bottom half of the map is so that you can go do things on the top half of the map. That's the whole point of being down here. So when I die like this, and I want to relieve pressure on the bottom half of the map, we walk. It's that simple. On Monkey King, you jump from tree to tree, you get there pretty fast anyways. But, like, killing this guy's a bonus if he sticks around. But by TPing here, you're effectively glued here for a while. Which is, we can't make use of the fact that we're leaving pressure because we're just glued here. So the issue is that the opponent's forcing a fight mid, and you could probably feel comfortable going the next creep wave and killing it if you have a TP, because you force reactions and you TP out. Because you don't have a TP, this natural response that you have, which is correct, because you don't have a TP, is to walk towards your team in case a fight happens, and also knowing that you don't have a way out if they catch you over here. So basically, not having a TP here drastically changes the way you have to play the game, and that's not good at all. So you go back towards your team. And try to connect. Good. Okay. So the opponent's now forcing bottom. You're pushing in the lane. I probably would have disassembled my Echo Saber for my BKB faster. It's just a really important BKB game. I would have built the Echo Saber again later, but I think the 1,000 gold earlier BKB would be really nice here. You're not really looking around the map all that much, I'll say. I don't have a good idea of what's going on in the game. You're looking around some, though. Okay, so you're pushing the lane pretty decently. You're going to try to shut down this shit. This is just... I mean, you guys are starting to see a trend with 4Ks, right? You're starting to see a trend. The opponent's showing a bunch of heroes bottom, which means they're pressuring, which means they're not top, which means it's your cue to advance on the map. Right? It's been the session. It's literally been every 3 to 4K carry coaching and replay analysis I've had. Guys, if you see fucking heroes, advance. And it's just like, it's just everybody, all of you, literally all of you. So you see heroes bottom, instead you go back to your triangle, right? It's just not acceptable. It's just not good, efficient farming pressure. So instead you're like feeling like you need to show up to this fight because you're not pushing top. Instead you're just jungling. And that's not how we want to feel. We want to be pushing lanes, thinking, are we responding to their pressure or do we continue creating pressure? That's like the decision we are choosing between. But if you back up on the map when the opponent's advancing on your side of the map, then all that leaves you with is, am I defending this tower, relieving pressure, or am I jungling? Which is not a good choice. That is not, does not feel good to make that choice, because both feel awkward. So if you were doing this while they were bottom, that's much better. This is like you're now properly in the right position. So you're just like a minute and a half late to doing this. Obviously, if you don't have BKB, you're probably not actually showing on the tower. You probably push the lane into the tower, maybe hit it once or twice, assume they're going to react and back off. But like, all I'm saying is exactly what you did there is correct. It was just late, you know? So, yeah, exactly what you're doing here is correct. You're going to show up to fight now. They're going to... Oh, you need to channel your ulti on the trees. Oh, no. Oh, that was such a good ulti to channel on the trees. Oh, you had the perfect setup here. Right here, channel that ulti. Dude, right here! Holy shit, this is the perfect ult! Oh, painful. This is like the perfect fucking ult. Holy shit. You're gonna ult and stun these two guys and fucking GG. Instead you jump in and get bashed. Yikes. Yikers. Looks like it's kind of working out. Okay, you get the triple kill anyway. I almost always try to channel my ult from trees. Almost always. You don't have to, but it's almost always better. So I'll have to ask you guys. Let's ignore this basher for a second. Let's ignore this basher. What would you guys have gone here? I'm actually curious. So he's a carry. He's #1 net worth. He just got a triple kill. What are you guys thinking, you know, if you're watching? You know, you're in chat. What would you go? You know? Deso, get Arcane Blink for easy ults. Manta, Scotty, Butterfly, Daedalus, Satanic, Rapier, Scotty, Ags, Butterfly, Manta. So the cool thing about this is the reason why I actually asked this is because I didn't think the item was obvious. Because I think there's a lot of options. And I think the interesting thing about asking my chat is that ignoring the troll answers, I actually saw like 7 different answers. Maybe like at least 5 different answers. So I want you to look at your inventory right now and like think about the current patch and think about the enemy heroes and think about like how they kill you, operates in fights, like how you kill them, yada, 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 okay? Just all these dynamics. So what I've learned in the current patch is that if I have a BKB, I have to ask myself if there's an item that allows me to delay the use of my BKB. And because BKB cooldown is so costly that I have found that if there's an item that lets me be more selective about my BKB usage, as long as I have sufficient damage, which I think you do, then I will always buy the item that lets me delay my BKB, okay? So in this case, Manta. I would go Manta, like 100%. They have Root from Lone Druid. If they jump you with Marcy, you can usually Manta before she tosses you. You have the Global Silence. You have Ignite from Ogre. There's a lot of things that would actually make you have to BKB that you can just Manta off. So I would 100% buy Manta here. I think Satanic is not nearly as good because a lot of their damage is single target. So if they have single target damage, you'd rather like make them not hit you than have the Satanic, especially against a hero like Silencer. But yeah, I would go Manta. I don't think you actually need to kill them with your items. You have Grimstroke, Storm, even Razor naturally kills enemy heroes. You guys have a lot of aggression, and you have a defensive item that you can enable with another defensive item. And the thing about all these like Mantas and Lincolns and shit is they actually do like decent damage. Like they're not great, but like it's pretty decent. So I would love a Manta here. I would choose Manta against the heroes they have. TLDR, if I have an item that lets me choose my BKB more selectively, I will buy it in every game. If I think it will significantly make my BKB usage easier, especially when this is the net worth. Okay, I've actually mentioned a lot in my coaching sessions recently that I itemize for who's on top. Okay, so say you're second net worth and there's some like jug on the enemy team that you guys just have to kill, and he's up here. Basher's going to make a lot more sense because like the guy up here needs to die. Okay, and think about it. If you're one of these three heroes, it's going to be more useful for you to itemize against this guy because you've got like two other cores that are like equal to you in impact, right? So like if you itemize against the guy on top, it's kind of like you three against this guy, right? But if you're the highest net worth in the game, you should itemize to keep yourself useful. So a hero like Monkey King, who has a lot of built-in damage, you already have damage items, I would much rather buy to live rather than buy to kill because I'm number one on the net worth. Now, on the other hand, there's heroes with like very high survivability, like a Wraith King, for instance, that when he's up here at this stage in the game, he's buying damage because the thing he wants to avoid happening is him getting ignored in fights. But every hero has like natural damage or survivability. So if I'm up here, I'll itemize to like give myself what I don't have in terms of one or the other. Make myself powerful, you know? So I don't like the Basher. Personally, I understand why you built it. It's not like garbage, but I think having a Manta just makes this game so much easier to play. So you're chasing them around the map. We don't really have time to sit on top of lanes like this. I think what you're noticing is they're running away from you. And how am I wording this? You're actually having trouble finding them to kill them in the first place, and you're actually scared to be aggressive because you're seeing them be aggressive towards you. I think all of this is adding up to you need an item that helps you farm a little bit, but also helps you be survivable. I think you're really seeing it here. I hope so, at least. Like, you're not actually able to find them on the map, and when you do, by the time your BKB's running out, you have to run away. So what that means, you have to delay the use of this. This is a lesson that's probably specific to this patch, largely. Because of the BKB nerf on cooldown, but it's really true right now. So I don't know how much this will apply in the future. I mean, being able to delay BKB is always nice, regardless of the patch, but your hero was like so strong and you were scared to fight them because you only have BKB as your survivability, and once your BKB runs out, you're just fucking useless. Like, honestly, you are. It's not your fault. You just are. So itemizing to keep this off cooldown is pretty much all you needed to do here. And I think the game would have been way easier to play. Probably probably like Manta, Manta, maybe like Butterfly Satanic. Something like this against the heroes you're dealing with. I don't think you needed to itemize to kill these guys at all. They're super squishy. Maybe like 5th item Basher just to cancel TPs. Nice. Got some kills. I mean, I like overall the way you're playing the map. I just know how it feels on Monkey King to be afraid of them going on you at all times, so you're not able to push lanes as fast as you would like. You're gonna turn this into Roche. I mean, overall movements are pretty good. Game's still pretty close. Bottom lane's constantly pushed in. Storm takes Aegis. Yeah, I just want you to realize that you're itemizing against the opponent when the net worths are like this. I just want you to realize all of your items are countering these range scores, which is like, yeah, fine, but, you know, who needs help? You or them, you know? See what you're doing in the game, and I just need to ask you if this item and this item help you do what you're doing. That's all I'm really asking. I want you to notice what you're doing in the game. Maybe you disagree with me, but you've been constantly playing by yourself and connecting to fights. You're not actually setting up kills. You notice that? You're not the one setting things up. So you need items that allow you to survive by yourself on the map, quickly connect to fights, and follow up your team. And if these are the items you think do that, fine. But I don't think so, right? I'm just telling you I actually like the way you're playing the game. But notice how your team's never with you because you're against Nature's Prophet. You're dealing with a lot of split push, and it's just you. Yeah. Nice. Nice. I like they hit your timing and you came back to base with it. Even though you didn't have BKB, you played that pretty smart. Yeah, it just looks so awkward to me that you have no way to remove all these dots. And you have a BKB. Yeah, I really think Satanic Romancer would have made this game so much easier for you. Sadly, that happens on Monkey King. You get caught once while you're pushing a creep wave. Very unfortunate. Oh, you bought out. Oh, you just bought the Vanguard? Or okay, you chose to not buy out here. Okay. Yeah, you had to buy back here, dude. You kind of just had to buy back. You just lost your entire base. Maybe you were waiting till your BKB was up. But... here's how I'd basically look at it for you. This is my lesson for you from this game. Is that there's two ways to have to itemize as a carry. And, like, there's a lot of different, like, categories that we can break down itemization. But I think this is a really important one that you're missing on this game. And I'll just ask you guys, if I divide this into categories, which of the two would you choose here? You either have to itemize for fights, or you have to itemize to play the map. And the reason why this is that most games... you're either having issues getting the map set up the way you want it to take good fights, meaning like the lanes are constantly pushed into you, you feel like you're constantly responding to the opponent, in which case we either have to like put pressure on their lanes, put pressure on their towers, or itemize to like be able to push lanes more survivably, or it feels like the opponent is kind of doing that, and we need to force them to fight us, and we win the fights, right? So I feel like most games I have issues either getting the type of fights I need, or I have issues in the actual fights themselves. And I think you're in a game where you're having issues getting the fights that you need, which in this case means you have to play the map. So all of your items, I think, are really strong for actual fights. So when you get the fights, you're winning them. But every fight is on your own tier 3s because your items don't play the map. And it's actually your job because you have Razor Storm, which are pretty limited wave clear, as your other two cores. It's your job to clean up the map. It's your job to force them to respond to you and not die. You know, it's your job. So I want you to strongly consider whether or not you're itemizing to play the map more. In this game, I want you to notice I'm playing by myself a shit ton. I'm trying to split push. I'm running into like one guy at a time. So just make yourself really strong. And in terms of survivability, give yourself multiple ways to live rather than just this, because then what happens is if this is your only way to live on the map, then you're going to use your BKB on the map, which happened like 4 times, and then you just don't have it for the fights. So yeah, I think that's your big issue. I mean, I think you end up losing, right? Yeah, and the thing about this game is that your items for fights are really nice, but if the fights are always on your side of the map, then you're not really turning these into objectives. So effectively what happens here is you've gotten like a ton of kills, right? Here's what I'm basically trying to explain. You've gotten a ton of kills, and then you die once, right? 2 lanes of racks gone, right? It's like, then you have to buy back to defend this racks with 15 seconds on your respawn. It's like, that's the difference of the lineups you're playing against. And it's so important against these like summon split pushers that you play to play the map rather than play to fight them. Because summons heroes are naturally weak in fights. Like, they're just naturally weak in fights. Their summons don't really do much in fights compared to what other heroes will do. Right? So, yeah, I hope that helps. Thanks for signing up. Dan OG, sup, dude? Or Danog. Okay, we've got one more replay, and we're all caught up on replays. Noob Do TV. I will stream according to. I appreciate it. I don't know. That's just weird. I missed your stream. I want you to stream every day. It's like, okay, thank you. We have a coaching session scheduled, right? I don't think I have any coaching scheduled today. Are you saying you specifically? Did I miss something? Did I forget about something I scheduled? Oh. I did miss something. Huh. Well, shit. Holy shit. Well, I apologize. Are you good to go now? I apologize, man. I actually did not realize I had that scheduled. I'm sorry. Are you good to go now? Very sorry about that, sir. If you're not good to go now, we can reschedule. Sorry about that, buddy. I'll add you on Discord. Let's get into we got a coaching session. Let's MMR 24. I actually didn't think I had a coaching session planned today, but I needed to check my schedule more diligently. Quick ad, and then we start the coaching session. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry about that, man. I know I keep apologizing, but let's go ahead and get into this. So without further delay, on my notes here, it says that you are 2400 MMR, carry player, and you're saying you're having trouble with consistent decision-making, how to avoid game-losing mistakes, and how to focus on my own game. What you do in my team has a completely different idea of the game. Awesome. Is that about right, or anything you want to add?
Yeah, that's about right.
Sweet. So what is your Dota history? What are we looking at here? How long you been playing? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it's a bit interesting. I started playing in 2013. Very casual for the longest time. Playing like single draft and ability draft. Randoming my hero in all pick when that was still a thing.
Yeah.
And I really only got into ranked like 2 years ago when I discovered your content.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and
So you've
playing
been
ranked.
motivated to try a bit harder, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
playing ranked on and off too, though. Sometimes like taking a few weeks of break because of personal stuff or because I get tired of the patch or similar things.
Totally. Yeah.
But like last 4 months, I really tried to get like many games in. I had like a replay review from you 2 months ago. Yeah, and I tried to play like 10 games a week. And yeah, I actually lost MMR when I really
Very
started
nice.
trying. I was at like 3.2 when I started like half a year ago, really trying.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I lost
I mean,
like,
basically, I mean, I had something similar happen. You know, I got coached, reevaluated the way I played the game,
yeah,
and then lost like 600 MMR, and then I, you know, gained it all back plus some. I don't think that's too
yeah,
surprising for most people. You know, if you're changing what you
yeah,
do, you're going to take yourself out of your comfort zone. You'll most likely naturally perform at a lower level at whatever you're trying to do, even if what you're trying to do is technically better
mm,
than what you were doing previously, just because you're simply executing at a lower level than you were whatever you were doing previously. Just like changing your form in any sport. So seems like you
yeah, for
understand
sure.
that. So that's good. Let's go ahead and see exactly what you're doing, and hopefully, with the coaching session, it'll be a bit more. We'll be able to appeal to you a bit more than just a replay. So,
Yep.
let's. Do you have a few replay IDs in mind? We can jump
Yeah,
into
I
it
have
and see
a
what's
few
going on.
saved. Yeah. So I've been playing Wraith King and Alk and Ursa this patch.
Okay,
Um,
those
so
seem fine to
let's,
me.
yeah.
So, in short, BSJ ruined his life. Oh, I just spilled water on my fucking desk. Give me a
It's
second.
fine. I like. Oh, that's not good. No, I enjoy it. It's fine, even if I'm losing. Yeah, so I sent you an ID.
Sorry, one sec, man. I spilled water.
All good.
Okay, got your replay right here. You here?
Yep, I'm here.
Cool, cool. Okay, let's check it out. I'm going to share my screen with you.
Mm-hmm. So one thing I want to say is like when the game is
Oh,
standard.
real quick before you say that, unless you have this game downloaded yourself, it's too old. I need it to be within the last week, or I can't
Oh,
watch
right,
it.
that's the older one. Yeah, I have it downloaded. I just need to see where I can find it. You need like a file, right?
Say it again.
You need like a file or something that's saved.
Yeah, I would need the saved file from your computer if I want to watch this.
All right, do you know where I can find it?
Yeah, I'll show you on my screen. You can just follow along.
Yeah, one sec. Yep.
It would be, why might be C drive 86 Steam apps common. You can just see it up here actually.
Yeah, I'm in Dota
Game,
already. Yeah.
Dota replays, and then whatever the ID is, it would be here.
Dota 2 beta game. 1 second. Yeah, all right. So ID.
You should be able to attach it in Discord, but if not, I can have you like email me.
Yeah, I just need to find it from the list. 1 second.
All good.
Yeah, there it is. No, it's too large.
Yeah, then you can here. Do you want to put it on Google Drive or something and send me the link?
Yeah, I can do that. 1 second.
Don't forget to challenge BSJ 1v1 mid. You lost 11 matches in a row. That's impressive. Impressive.
So this should work.
Yeah, and that looks correct.
Yeah, it's the only older one. The other ones are from like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah, that's fine. I think I downloaded it. Yeah. I had to reload Dota for it to show up though, so.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was that like when I can follow the standard gameplay, I do very well, I think.
Okay.
But when the game gets like a bit weird, I need to deviate from the plan. I often get lost and don't really know.
Yeah,
how
that
to
was
win
me.
the game.
That was me for a really long time, so I can
Yeah.
relate to this. I feel like
then
most of my videos
yeah.
in the past were about that formula. So
Mhm.
especially if you were like trying to learn Dota from me, it's not a
Yeah.
surprise that you have that issue.
Yeah, for sure.
But what were you gonna say? Sorry.
Yeah, and then I often get baited like by my team into really stupid decisions and stuff.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you've, like I already said, but again, you have similar issues to what I have.
Yeah.
And so I'll have to coach you like you're me, basically. So I've learned that this is you, right? Yeah, CXW.
Yeah.
The only way I can really not go to fights that I don't want to show up to, basically what Koikfa taught me, is to be constantly aware of my situation in the game. Am I in fight or farm mode? And also if I'm in farm mode, okay, so it's a scale of 1 to 10. It's not just black and white. It's like 10 means, I'm going to run at opponents and force a fight. 1 means I'm scared of literally anything that moves and I have to dodge them at all costs. So, it's like if I'm at like a 6, if I see a fight about to break out, I'll like farm towards the fight. You know what I mean? Like if I'm at like a 4, I'll farm away from the fight. But like if I'm at a 2 or a 3, I'll go to the complete opposite side of the map than the fight.
Yeah.
If I'm at like a 8 or a 9, I might just straight up TP to the fight. You know what I mean? This is the kind of stuff where generally assessing where you are on that scale at every given moment in the game is super important. And that's the only way you can really avoid doing things your hero doesn't want to do. I mean, I've basically started winning games, and I'm not consistent at it yet. But I know why I've gained MMR is that I do it enough where I win games that I previously wouldn't have won, and that's like pretty much all gaining MMR is, right? Take like the 2 or 3% of games you would have previously lost, and now you're winning them. So it's not like this type of process has to be perfect overnight. For me, it's been a long grind of figuring it out. But I'm just telling you, in the games where I watch my teammates, I know exactly what they're doing is stupid, and I confidently know this is what my hero wants to do in the game, and I just ignore them, whatever they're doing. I win those games. I don't win the games when I try to feed into what my teammates are doing. I don't. If I try to change what my hero is good at in order to appeal to what my teammates' game plan is, it just doesn't work. It just straight up doesn't fucking work. And people say it's a team game, but the problem with Dota is it is a team game, but it's about individuals playing their heroes correctly in a formula of things. So what happens is, as a carry player, you're definitely the worst role to grief yourself. You know, it's like,
yeah, for sure.
If you play outside of your hero's strengths, especially mid to late game, you're kind of the most important hero to not do that. You know, so it can definitely be a super costly mistake on carry, and that's why I think originally I hit 9K as offlane, because that's not really something that offlaners suffer as much from later on in the game. So their job's pretty straightforward, run around with the team and kill people. Yeah, so now that I've kind of sewed up that issue, at least somewhat, at least I'm aware of it and working on it, my carry play has gotten better. So let's see exactly what you're doing wrong. I'm assuming your laning stage is going to be decent. I'm already watching it. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. So this lane was very weird because I had the Kotl pushing the lane all the time.
Yeah, blasting it.
And it's going to turn pretty bad soon.
Yeah, so I don't like... so the issue here is actually that you're, for some reason, walking back into two opponents. You're thinking like I'm going to retreat because I killed this creep, but retreating just means going away from enemies, not back to your side of the map. This needs to be like a fluid thought, you know. I want to retreat from enemies, not a specific position. So like if you want to retreat here, you would go this way. So a lot of people do this where they're like, I want to retreat, run back to my tower, right? And then you run into two heroes. And I just want you to rework. So a lot of... so you say like you're in good normal situations and then you're bad in weird situations. It's like an example of this is like, generally speaking, if you always retreat when you're in a situation where you don't want to engage the opponent, but your definition of retreating is going back to the tower. In normal lanes, that's going to work. But in abnormal lanes, it's going to do that, right? So hopefully today I can just rewire what you think of when you naturally react to something. So when you think you want to retreat, I'm going to tell you you need to try to hold yourself accountable to immediately where is the opponent on the map. This applies to like literally any stage of the game. Because if you are feeling like you don't want to fight and you're right here farming at 20 minutes and the opponent's pushing your mid tier 2, a lot of people will feel scared and farm backwards.
Yeah.
And that just inevitably leads to them running into this fight that they don't want to be a part of, right? So it's like wherever the opponent is, if I don't want to fight them, I go the opposite way, which sometimes means advancing on the map. I'm just telling you that this mistake you made is not unique to the laning phase only.
I think like in the later stages on the macro stage, I do it okay, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll find out. Okay. So, I generally don't like skipping stun on Wraith King. You don't really have many options if you do in lane. But I guess in this specific lane, I find it okay. My question for you is, how do they kill you?
They run at me slowly.
Okay. So what are you thinking? Items? Thoughts?
Yeah. I need boots.
It's like, I might even buy a fucking windlace in this lane, dude. I like boots and a windlace. This is like the most definition of a I need boots kind of lane I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, I think I was focused on the Venomancer out-trading, but yeah.
Hey man, your hero's got sustain, bro. Like, this...
true.
Helm of Iron Will is really only super impactful if the opponent's got a lot of physical and you can't really dodge it.
Yeah.
Think about it, right? Like, in this case, you need to evade the damage, not sustain it.
True.
So a little bit of, hopefully, I asked you immediately how you die in this lane. You said you get ran at, so, it's like one of those things where in a live game, are you just not asking yourself how you die? Like, what's the deal? I'm just straight up, you answered immediately. Like,
it's just like a focus.
We need to get you asking the right questions, right? This can be asked like leading into the lane. If you're not 100% sure who you're laning against, then the second you meet in lane, and you have any time to think, meaning like you're not CSing at that exact moment or whatever, consider this. Because this is something that should be determined at like 0 minutes, 30 seconds into the game. You shouldn't have to then process it later. Of course, there's going to be some matchups where you're unfamiliar. But yeah, this is a lane where like early boots, straight up OP. Like I said, I might even consider a windlace. And if your 5 is kind of like griefing a little bit by pushing the lane, I'm level 3 Wraith King. I'm probably just jungling, to be honest. I'll just hit up the fucking jungle.
Alright. Yeah.
But now that this is a classic, man. So Wraith King players, they love it when they can't really lane and they get chased down. They're like, oh shit, they're chasing me. Summon skeletons. So now I can't lane and I can't jungle. So I'm fucked. This is just generally like a very like I did this maybe 5 times before I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think when they're going on me in lane that I should summon skeletons. So I just don't do that ever anymore because if the lane's really good and so the only time I ever use skeletons is when the lane is good, but it's close enough that in order to actually push the tower or like push the lane out, I need to summon skeletons. And even then, I don't like it because I don't have skeletons to jungle with. So there's like 5 variances of lane on Wraith King. It's so bad you just leave. That's 1. 2 is that you don't really want to lane, but you're down to lane when it's underneath your tower. So you'll jungle and then return to lane when it's underneath your tower. 3, it's like okay to lane, but you have to summon skeletons to actually push the lane, okay? In that case, I generally just let the guy have the lane and then defend it underneath my tower anyways because I get more farm that way, okay? And then 4 is the lane's really good, but I can push it without summoning skeletons. In that case, great, because I can just push out the lane and then go jungle with skeletons, right? And then 5, the lane is so good that I can actually fucking kill their fucking tower with skeletons, okay? So I'll actually use skeletons in that one because I'm like, I'm going to freaking take their tower in 2 summons of skeletons. The first one's going to take it down to half and the second one's going to kill it. So just notice how I construct this vision of heroes and the way that I would use my spells. So I've like started thinking on whatever hero I'm playing, this is what a good and bad lane looks like. This is when I would use my spells. And this shit isn't just like, hey, I watched a single guy play Wraith King and now I've nailed it. It's like, what I'm saying is I think of the lane as like, where can I return? How much pressure's on my tower? How much pressure can I put on their tower? This is something I think on every hero, right? Yeah. And then how fast does my hero jungle? How fast do I clear the wave? All these factors. And then I just think, now that I know all these factors matter on every single hero in the game, what does this hero's skill set use to do given things, So it's like specifically on Wraith King, the spell that you need to jungle with can't be used in lane. Like, it just really can't, right? So, like, that alone will go a long ways for you that you stop doing this,
Yeah, I do it again. Yeah.
Just leave lane. Just dip. Like, I need you to recognize that the lane is not good the first time, and you should just jungle. The problem is you keep summoning skeletons. I'm just telling you, man, I did this too. Like, I lost, like, probably 5 Wraith King games in a row, and it was pretty much exclusively because I ruined my game doing exactly what you're doing here. So, yeah, you're just jungling with no skeletons. Yeah. Yikers. It just means you jungle really slow. Yeah. But okay, so we're gonna summon. I would have summoned some skeletons probably at 2. I probably would have used them at 2 skeletons just to get the ball rolling. But okay, we're jungling now. The thing about having heroes like Coddle, if I have a 5 Coddle, people just don't get it, man. If I have a 5 Coddle, maybe the guy is not supposed to be blasting the creeps, right? But he's gonna blast the creeps. And like worst case scenario, I have to leave lane and he's gonna take my lane. If I have a support that's likely to want creeps and also likely to push the lane, I'm always picking a jungler, dude. Like, I'm always picking some guy that can leave lane at level 3, 4, 5. Because, best case, the lane goes well, and I just get to stay in lane. But worst case, I get to leave lane, and he's going to defend my tower for eternity. So I can just jungle. So I just want to let you know that I think of my pick when it comes to what my support's naturally going to do. And I also think, like, the only reason I don't want to jungle is because I'm afraid I'm going to lose my tower, So if I'm a hero that can just naturally jungle, I'll leave the second I can. Level 3 is Wraith King's time to just leave. So I've left plenty of lane at level 3 on Wraith King and been willing to return to it when it's underneath my tower. This hero farms really fast as long as he has the skeletons rolling. I would have put a third point in skeletons, by the way. But
all right. I wanted to ask about that, like maxing second or third spell.
Yeah, I would definitely be maxing my second, generally speaking. I mean, dude, come on, dude. Like, let's talk about this. What do these abilities scale with? Like, what makes these abilities more impactful?
The crit when you have, like, damage.
Yeah. So, this ability scales with items.
Yeah.
And this ability scales with levels.
Yeah.
Right? Think about it, right? Like, this ability, no matter what items you have, will do the exact amount of...
for sure.
And this one scales with items. So if I'm having a really good start, I'll start putting more points in this earlier. Because I have more items. So this is the kind of stuff that you can think about. All right, like it's tough to if I don't hand you the answer, sometimes it's tough because like these are things that I didn't just always come to the conclusion myself. It either took a lot of games or maybe I saw somebody else and had to try to infer what they were doing and why. But
yes, so I did notice in some replays that people only put 3 points in Spirit and then max the crit.
And that's generally because their armlet probably came out around the time that they were 3 points in Spirit is probably what happened if you watch.
Makes sense. Yeah, so this game basically turns into getting bristlebacked. Getting run over by him.
Yeah, so the issue is that you can't really return to lane at all because Bristle just runs at you. That's kind of the issue here. And if you had made the early game not so bad, you would have defended the tower. And I actually want you to realize that it's super important when you see the map looking like it is now that you actually clear this wave first. It is so important. I want you to go here, summon Skellies, and then TP here.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, if you can clear 2 lanes at once when this kind of shit's going on, like just your entire team is down here doing things, your job is to clean up as many lanes as possible. So sometimes it's only 1, but when you're like an illusion hero or a summons hero or, a hero that just rapidly clears the waves, you should go for 2. And you're totally permitted to use TPs to get 2 waves. That's an incredibly efficient use of TP. Because if a fight's going on the map, all you need to do is, like, push as much as you can during that fight. Like, I want you guys to think that the sense of urgency to be efficient is higher when the opponent is preoccupied because they're fucking with you less. It's like when they're all missing and shit, you need to have a higher priority on safety, taking safe paths and evading ganks. But like when you see fights going on or like breaking out like you do bottom here, instantly summon waves or like walk down top, summon Skellies, TP mid, and then run into your triangle. That's like the super efficient way to play right now, Go ahead.
Yeah, I basically decided between like top lane and mid lane at this point, but
you actually walked to mid, so it's even slower, right? Not only did you not like your play was slower on 1 lane than mine would have been on 2 lanes.
Like, for sure.
Think about it. So this is just efficiency.
So what do you think about my items?
I mean, I don't hate the Midas. I probably would have gone it before Armlet if I'm going to buy it. But I honestly don't hate it. I've had plenty of bad games where I just go Midas. I personally haven't really liked Wraith King all that much this patch. This is an exact scenario I was talking about earlier, by the way, where you're not really wanting to fight and you're farming towards the fight. Yes, this is exactly what we're trying to avoid. You do end up like kind of walking back to top. Your phase boots needed to be like is your courier dead or something, or what's going on here? Are you just not using it?
Don't know.
I don't think your courier's dead. I feel like you're just not using it. Yeah, you just weren't using it. That's pretty bad. But yeah, honestly, what you did here is really good. You're not at all capable of fighting. You took a tower. You forced them to react to it. You TP'd bottom. They reacted to your TP to bottom. Sadly, they have a ward on you. So you're gonna probably die.
Yep.
So this is just this is really a classic. So this is a tough one to talk about because it's actually a pretty high level move for the enemy team for your bracket. But when I see the map like this, if I'm forced to retreat, I just don't retreat to the place that they would expect me to retreat to. Like, I just think, where would I normally go? And I just don't go there because people will generally find you. So here, what I generally will do, that if I'm in a good headspace, like I'm actually thinking critically about the game, is if this Kunkka TP's bottom, what do you think they usually do when they TP bottom? Like, what would you do if you were this Kunkka? You know, you TP'd bottom, you defended your tower. Where's he going to go now?
I'm going to run it, the Wraith King.
You're going to run where, though? Like, where do you think you're running to? This is very important distinction.
Well, check those 2 camps in the jungle and then towards the triangle.
Yeah. So where would you go in hindsight?
Like me as Wraith King now?
Yeah, you just told me what the enemy's gonna do. So like, if you were Kunkka, what you would do? Where would you go in hindsight? Right. Your 2 choices are to run left.
Yeah.
Or to go hide in the trees over here.
Yeah.
If you're like an anti-mage, a hero that can get away from ganks, you always run left here. Okay.
Yeah.
But as a Wraith King, you can't get away from ganks, so you would go hide in the trees.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, like, a lot of people don't realize that when they're losing, you just have to put yourself in the mind of the opponent, my friend. That's all you have to do. It's hard, but it guides you. It's the only way to play Dota. It's like, if I were TPing bottom here, what would I do? And that's what the opponent's doing right now, right? I know it's like easy to tell you this rewinding because the opponent smoked and we know that in all that hindsight 2020. But like, I just want you to realize that if we can see into the opponent's head here, that's how you're going to evade these ganks. It's the only way. It's quite possible in your bracket. What would happen here is that the opponent's not making this high level play. You would hide over here. The Kunkka would like run into your triangle or whatever, and then you'd pop out in the trees and like kill the creep wave.
Yeah.
Right. But the emphasis earlier was 4-on-4 happening bottom, walk to wave, TP to other wave. Right. Nobody on the enemy team showing, hide in the fucking trees.
Yeah.
You see the difference here? It's like,
for sure.
This case, you're actually prioritizing efficiency when the entire enemy team's missing. And that just doesn't work. You know, this is when you just kind of like, you're literally crossing your fingers. Please don't have a ward. Please don't be ganking me. But like, there's actually no proof of it happening. And I've learned as a carry player, when I learn to respect the potential of the opponent ganking me, what effectively happens is I'll probably miss 10 to 15 CS over the course of time that I didn't technically have to miss, meaning that the opponent wasn't ganking me, but I actually had no way of knowing at the time. So if I always give them the benefit of the doubt that they are ganking me, it just avoids this 1 or 2 deaths from the ganks, and that's worth way more than like 10 or 15 CS. You know what I mean? But it comes from like respecting it every single time. And that's... So I'm just telling you, it's definitely worth missing CS if they're all missing. Because if they're all missing, they're likely not being efficient. You know? Even if they're 4-man jungling, like that's just not really efficient for them. Okay, so for some reason... Okay, so... So I don't actually... Like, a lot of viewers may be thinking, like, hey, he bought a Midas, like, what a grief or whatever. I think you're honestly playing the game reasonably. You had a really rough start. Generally speaking, the worse your start is as carry, the longer you have to farm. It's sad, but it's true. A lot of people don't realize that. So I'm actually okay with what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're
I don't
evading
feel like
ganks
I can...
decent. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't really do much, right?
Yep.
So you're farming up an item that allows you to fight now. Like, it actually helps you split push a little bit too, because the way they don't really have any BKB canceling TPs or BKB TP cancels. Yeah, honestly, you're kiting them pretty well on the map. You said your macro play at this stage in the game you thought was pretty good, and I agree. And you make one aggressive play and you just die. That's pretty standard. You just kind of forgot the plan. So, okay, here's what I want you to think. This is something that even somebody in my skill bracket, if they are not thinking clearly, will mess up, okay? I need you to understand that if you can think about this at all times, you will just be a better player by a large margin, okay? So when you are losing, I have already said this, but I'm going to rehash it and I'm going to make you understand that it matters in every single scenario. If you were on the opponent team and you saw your drow get stunned, what would you do?
I would go help her.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
that's your answer.
Yeah.
No, that's your answer. No. Are you in fight mode right now? Look at your items.
Nope.
No. So what happens is the first realization is, what's the opponent going to do if I stun this guy? This move right here is actually really good, by the way. Like, to go stun this guy.
Yeah,
Super
but then run
good.
away.
He's alone, right? Yeah. But then you're not in fight mode, and you told me if you were stunned on Drow, your team would come help you.
Yep.
So, stun him, dip. This is actually a sick play. Like, meaning if you stun this guy and just walked away, dude, it'd be a super sick play. Because they're going to force like 2 TPs and you're just out. You know? But yeah, so what I'm saying is a lot of what I was saying high-level players mess up is they forget why they're doing things. They'll make this exact move, and then they'll commit to it. When, in reality, they're not in fight mode. So if you're not in fight mode and you make an aggressive move, why are you doing it? I'm asking you, like, why are you doing it? If you're not in fight mode and you make an aggressive move, what are you attempting to do?
Yeah, to force reactions.
Force reactions, exactly. So making these plays like this that force reactions are actually great plays. You just have to not die, right? Like, now, on the other hand, if you did this and Drow got out of the stun fast enough and he just slowed you to oblivion, you know, and then you died anyways, then you can't make that play. You know? I would have honestly been fine if you did this play, immediately ran away, still died, and it's like, eh. Yeah. But like the fact that you chase after him, you know, that's the problem.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Okay. You just got to remember if you're in fight or flight mode. That's what we got to remember here. It's amazing that when you're losing, aggressive plays are usually the way to come back, but it's not actually committing to this aggressive play. It's just making it, assuming the opponent will react. The thing is, if you stun him there and you back off and nobody reacted, dude, it's like, whatever, man. You're just going to keep doing whatever you were doing. So people think like, oh, they didn't react, I could have killed that guy. It's like, no. If they did react, you were fucking dead. So give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, just play the game as if they were good. And you'd be surprised that if you just, like, let them force themselves to be good, there's going to be moments in the game where you just, like, they aren't good, and you'll be able to punish it somehow. But a lot of people think, I'm in 2K, they're not going to do that. You know, and it's like, no, that's not how Dota works.
Yeah.
So I actually like that move. Just the wrong execution. You're going to queue up the Silver Edge. Your team's dead. Yeah, you're getting bristled.
Yeah.
I understand why you TP'd, but I wouldn't have TP'd here. I would have waited till my other 2 heroes were alive, or at least one of them.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing, keep farming. A lot of viewers will just be like, isn't he just AFK? All that kind of shit. And it's like, well, if you can't do anything anyway, it's, you know.
And my team is saying the exact same thing.
I understand. Your team's like, hey, Wraith, can you care about our racks? And it's like, of course, but I don't think I can do anything. And that's like where it's like, I would rather you ask yourself, are you useful if you TP back to base? And what do you need to be useful? Do you need all 5 heroes alive? Do you need a specific hero alive? Are you able to actually hold the base without your mid and off lane alive? And the problem is people see like a Rax dying and they just assume you don't care. But that's not at all how it is. And if you know that's how it is for you, meaning like you know you actually care, you just don't think you can do anything, then be confident. If your teammate, I get fucking pinged in my bracket, dude. It never ends.
I know.
It always works better to play to your hero. It never ends. People are bad. People are panicking, right? So I actually like what you're doing here. You're doing your best to split push. Your team's always dead, so not too much you can do here. You're gonna TP now that your team's alive. I don't hate it. This is actually fine with me. Yeah, hell yeah. We got a kill on Kunkka. Let's go. Nice. Yeah, this is good. This is the best case scenario. You were actually very patient on the map. I'm surprised. You waited a very long time to TP back. You're gonna go push mid now, I assume. You have a Silver Edge in your backpack. Okay. Let me just rewind here a second. I feel like I don't like what you did in this fight.
Yeah, we just kind of lose 2 fights, I think, and then we lose.
This looks good to me.
Yeah, I'm just trying to run at the draw.
Oh no, you're gonna. Oh no.
I guess.
I think your fight execution could be a bit better, but I think overall it's not it's not worth talking about at this moment. I feel like it's not your issue. So here's what I'm gonna tell you, man. I actually think the way you played 15 to 30 minutes was pretty decent. Like above your MMR, decent. but the way you played the lane was so fucking bad. It's
Yeah.
you're playing uphill at a massive margin, and that just happens sometimes. Basically, what I say about these type of games is that I messed up if I play the way you did. I'd say, like, which happens, is I say I messed up my lane so much that I left it in my team's control to kind of carry me through the mid game. I think the way you tried to recover was reasonable, and sometimes it just doesn't work. But you're not in control of winning these games if you butcher the lane like this. It's just how it is. Like, you're not in control until 30 minutes. 30 minutes plus, you're not in control. And I actually think you did a decent job recovering. So I would actually give you my approval on the recovery attempt, other than a few of the TPs we talked about and the efficiency of clearing lanes. But overall, I was pretty happy with that. You were just playing from way behind super early. So do you have another replay for me? And we can see, maybe a situation where you play a bit better in lane. Maybe you're consistently having lane issues.
Yeah, so trying to see. I have another Wraith King win. I don't remember how the laning phase was in that one. Yeah, but I think this one's better, an Alchemist game.
Sure.
So this was actually a mega creep comeback.
Well, we're probably not going to get to the mega creeps, but maybe
Yeah. Lane was kind of tough too here, I think. Was against Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, it's not a fun lane.
Yep.
Okay. Probably Dawn Grim or Dawn Silencer. That's pretty annoying.
30 seconds to battle.
First blood.
Don't take greed. You're literally griefing yourself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a laughable offense, my friend. Either of
Okay.
your two spells are
Okay.
insanely good. Never do it again.
Okay, got it.
You can either stun them to secure range, or you can acid spray to win trades. Either one's very impactful. Both of your skills are insanely good level 1. Greed's worth like 12 gold.
Yeah. I think I saw someone take it and then I just defaulted to it.
No.
Yeah.
I had it once in my game, and I was like, "What is this guy doing?" And
Okay.
the guy was actually ranked like 200,
Yeah.
but he clearly, is when Alk kind of came into popularity, and I like questioned him in my head. I'm like, I don't think that was a good call, dude. That guy straight up died like 4 times. I was like, I figured that wasn't a good call. I mean, the reason is that I want you to realize every second you're not spending mana, that's just 1.4 mana gone. So on any hero that can effectively use mana in lane, you're just giving the opponent momentum starting lane 1 or like level 1. And I just want you to realize Dawn just fucking hits you, and there's nothing you can do about it. If you're a carry and you have spells that let you prevent them from hitting you or fighting back when they hit you, these are the spells that we have to skill. We have to use them. So, just obviously greedy to take Grieful's greed. But okay.
So I asked my Warlock to heal me, but he basically never did it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. That's why I went Soaring first too, because I thought I would have enough health.
Yeah, this is a I buy Soul Ring, never use it kind of lane, looks like.
Yeah.
Buy yourself some regen, though. Wait, he salved you but didn't push...
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Interesting. I don't...
His W
I don't
does as
know.
much as a salve. That's very strange.
Yeah.
Well, such is life.
Yep.
I wouldn't even level stun in this lane then. I would just max out Acid Spray and try to keep lane near my tower when it is like this, but if they contest me, I'll use Acid Spray. That's basically what I'm going to do here. I basically act like my support doesn't exist in a lane like this. They've proven to me they're incompetent. It happens. No judgment, just, this guy's bad. So he's using Fatal Bonds, which means that we have a bit more space in the lane, which is nice. I mean, the lane's still going fine. You're still farming decently. I probably just skip stun, to be honest. I mean, maybe it's still fine to take stun. I mean, I usually take stun, but I'm just saying, like, when I assume I don't have a support, then...
Do you ever level stun before acid spray? Like
Oh,
Mixer?
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people take stun level 1
Okay.
now. It's a choice between stun and acid spray. I generally only like stun in lanes where I have a stick hero against me, just because it's hard to spam stun. But it's also a lot about how much damage my support will do if I stun them. That's probably a lot of how it is, because like after I stun them, I hit for like 60 damage or whatever, 55 damage. So, acid spray means get away from me. I just want to CS. Stun means I can actually threaten you. That's basically what it means. So I think either's fine. I'd say most games I have stun at the latest level 3. But if I feel like the lane's either uncontestable or my support's kind of useless, I'll definitely go 3 or 2-0-1. And then if they're really fucking useless, I might just skip stun altogether. But that's like adjusting in the worst case scenario, recognizing stun's like a very good spell, and I'm only using it, or I'm only not using it if I don't even want to play this lane anymore. But okay. So you go jungle now. I actually think this is a reasonable decision. Lane was pushed out. Pretty hard lane. I actually think you played this lane pretty well, all things considered.
Okay.
Pretty much didn't have a support. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I didn't expect that much damage, but it's Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, you just forgot you're against Dawnbreaker.
Yeah.
That death was much less coachable, because I think it was fine that you were there. You were just didn't. There was no macro decision mistake there. You just kind of got gone on by a Dawnbreaker. Not the best efficiency there, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Kill Dawn. Well, it's not okay. You need to fucking stack camps and shit, but I can't really coach you other than, hey man, stack camps. Okay, so now you're doing it. I don't love the camps stacking over here for that exact reason.
Yeah.
I think that's actually bad efficiency. I would prioritize pushing the lane. Okay.
Killing spree.
So I think you're actually overly conceding the lane here.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Like, I had ulti and he was alone. Could probably take
I think
a few
right
creeps.
now I see this, and you have to, like, look at the map right now. You just have to run back top.
Yeah.
I have been telling people this time and time again, and it just needs to be heard by literally everybody. You see enemy heroes, you have knowledge, advance on the map. It's just that simple. Stop fucking retreating, because it just fucks you guys. You just give up free towers, you give up free pressure. It's literally crippling all 2 to 4K carry players. All of you. It's the same shit. You see shit on the map and you walk backwards. So when you're farming jungle, there's 2 things that matter. The 2 lanes next to you, first and foremost, how much pressure are on them, okay? And then, based on what you see on the map, are you permitted to advance? That's it. Like, those are the only 2 things that matter to you in the game, okay? So it's like, if I don't see heroes, I have to be like, where did I last see them? And I retreat from that area. So if I last saw them top, I would farm this way, right?
Yeah.
If I last saw them mid, I'm actually going to walk like this.
Yeah.
Because that's where I last saw them, okay? So it comes down to, if I see heroes, I have permission to walk wherever is most further up on the map. If I don't see heroes, I walk away from where I last saw them, okay? And so that's going to dictate my farming patterns when I'm jungling.
Yeah.
That's not easy to constantly be on top of things, like, at all. But at the end of the day, as long as you know this is what you're supposed to be thinking, and you work on it, you'll slowly start noticing. And if you go through replays where you died, please just watch back, the 30 seconds leading up to it, see the information that you had, and just, like, be like, should have done that.
Yeah.
So yeah, in this case, I'm definitely upset that I see 3 heroes mid and that you continue jungling. It's not good. Has really nothing to do with your ult, If
Okay.
like if you have ult, then you walk up to the creep wave and just hit it. If you don't have ult, you defend the tower with acid spray and, like, do a little defensive aggro maneuvering kind of shit. You know what I mean? It's like all it depends. All it affects is what you do when you're in lane, not like the fact that you can go to lane because you see 3 heroes. So yeah, just creep waves dying to your tower. Tower took like half its HP and damage. You're gonna walk back to lane, better late than never.
No.
This kind of stuff just adds up over time if we just do it slowly.
Yeah.
Yep, defend tower, please. We saw heroes mid. 2 heroes are dead. By overly passively farming jungle, you have effectively given this Dawnbreaker a free tower. The tower is just dead. The tower actually is just dead. And this is fucking massive. That is your number one priority as carry, is defending the towers near the farm area you have. You need to have considered like every possible option to defend this tower, and it's worth slowing down your item timings slightly to keep that tower alive, because it's just like when you hit that radiance, you still want to farm, right? And we still want map control to be able to farm. And so, yeah, I don't really have to explain any further unless you're asking. It's worth keeping towers alive. Yeah,
I was more scared than I needed to be, or at least I need to try to defend it somehow.
Yeah, be more creative. You know, I want you to know the mission is to defend this tower. Think of safer pathing to it. Think of the fact that like getting half of the creep wave, but the full XP and not actually getting all the CS is better than just giving up the tower. Yeah. You don't have to be able to hit every creep for it to be worth it. The objective is that the only thing that matters to you on the map is defending these objectives. Otherwise, farm, and you just need to reorder that priority on your list. So yeah, you got your Radiance. You're kind of playing with the team. I'd say like it's fine to make moves like this to like threaten the Dawnbreaker, but now that, I would just separate from my team now. No. Separate from your team. Separate. Separate on the map. I need you to understand. Separate on the map. It's so important. If you're given permission to separate, please just do it. So what I mean by permission to separate is you have vision telling you you're allowed to go the opposite side of the map from your team. Yeah. Just generally speaking, if you're allowed to go the opposite side of the map from your team, it's better if you're farming. If you're farming, it's just always better. I can just tell you guys, if your goal while you're farming is to stay as far away from your team as possible without feeding, it's the fucking dream. It's the fucking dream. You should always do it, because that means you're effectively controlling more areas on the map. You're probably pushing lanes further. You're probably giving your team more jungle camps to farm if they want to. You're just opening up the map for your entire team. So going to your triangle here is a big no-no. I need you defending top wave instead of Puck. Puck can take mid. Instead, your Puck's like, your mid hero's just off the map now. And he dies. Ugh. I know this sounds weird to every viewer, but you killed your Puck. Your Puck is 2k. He sees a lane to farm, he's going to go farm it. Okay? Like, you will actually prevent that Puck from dying by walking through your own jungle at 17 minutes and farming top. Like, the problem is that at my bracket, I understand that I'm supposed to be top as Alk and Puck is supposed to be mid. And the Puck will know, I don't really want to be here, so I'll be super cautious. Your Puck doesn't know that. He's just going to go to the opposite lane, and he actually tried to kill somebody. He was being super aggressive, and then he died. And at the end of the day, you can't... Like, it's not your responsibility for Puck to not be aggressive, but it is your responsibility to separate from your team at all costs, which is going to keep your teammates together naturally, which is going to prevent them from doing exactly this. There's just some games where you have no control, you know? Like that Wraithkin game, it was much more like you fed lane, so you don't have much control in the game. But this game, you absolutely had control of separating from your team, and this is something where if we don't monitor it closely, we will just randomly walk towards our team on the map, and we got to avoid doing that. Okay, queue up the dust. Right now. Queue that dust up, boy. No Brigand's Blade, what the fuck? You need an invitation to do 100 free damage, or what?
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
That item's broken, man. I mean, that's pretty much GG, to be honest, but meaning like the games we're in for a while now. We see them, you're... Yeah, so you just don't have dust.
We lost two.
That's it. Not much else to say there. I think that probably works if you have dust and you just stun them instantly.
I need to do that more. Yeah, buying dust on my...
if you're a blink stunner, buy fucking dust, you know? I don't want you to buy dust on, you know, sniper or drow, but if you're playing Wraith King or Alk with a blink, you buy dust. Yeah, so it's super important that after we lose this fight, which happens, shit happens, nothing we can do about it at this point, that we mentally reset and say, I need a fucking BKB. Say, hey team, I need a BKB. So what are we going to do? We're going to walk away from fights. Because you're still kind of strong, meaning like you could probably clean people up if they overextend. So you're probably at like a 3 right now, 3 or 4. Like you're willing to fight, but you really don't You'd really rather not. If you're at a 1, you probably walk or TP away from your team with no intent to show up.
Yeah.
But if you're anywhere around like 3, 4, 5, you walk away from your team with a TP ready. So instead you walk toward your team. Guess where I need you to go? Away from your team, please. Just down here.
Yeah.
It's going to force the opponent to potentially separate. If you do take a fight, it'll be 5v4. Instead, you're just jacking off with your team in the mid lane. If you're winning, mid lane. If you're losing, side lanes, my friend. I need you to realize that according to the dead lane concept, which like is not nearly as straightforward as it used to be, but it still exists in regards to 2 lanes. If you're winning, you control 2 lanes. That one of those 2 lanes is always mid. So if you're losing and you play mid, you're gonna run into heroes. It's just it's just that simple. You're not gonna evade heroes by playing mid when you're losing.
Yeah.
So defaulting back to just farming mid here is
Yeah.
not good. I mean, I assume based on what I'm seeing here, the enemy team's just gonna like chuck it or something. But
Well, yeah.
what's gonna happen here? You're gonna.
I don't know. We win a fight somehow. I don't know how, but yeah.
So you finally walk away from your team here. This is actually correct. But you TP back before BKB. Yeah, this is just a shitty TP, man. Keep farming.
Okay.
Where are you going? You're fucking useless, man. You don't have a BKB. Keep farming. Keep farming, dude. I don't care how much is going on in your base. Like, walk back to this lane and push it in, and then it's 25 minutes. You've got more camps to farm. This is just BSJ TP 101, man. Just look at your fucking items, dude. You're fucking useless. Stop. It was like you were at a 3 or 4 the previous death. You know, where I wanted you to walk down here. You're definitely at like a 1 or a 2 right now.
Yeah.
Like you're just lower because you died again. You know, you're no longer in the I'm willing to show up before this BKB situation. It's really hard. I can tell you that I understand. It is really hard as a carry to acknowledge I have fucked up. I need to farm items. It is really hard to like have the mental discipline and do that. Generally, I've learned that if I recognize it and acknowledge it to my team, that they'll be more tolerant. Where I'll just say, "Hey guys, sorry I died a few times. I need BKB." Like I'll just say something like that. And not always. People still rage at me sometimes and say, "Where the fuck are you, noob?" All that kind of stuff. But I've noticed that helps because not only am I making sure I know what page I'm on, but generally setting my team up for the right expectations of what they're going to get from my hero is really nice. Just say like, "Hey guys, I'm not fighting till BKB. I fucked up a few times, you know." Or sorry guys, I had a few deaths farming BKB.
Yeah.
I need it. I mean, if people still get mad at you, it's like, what else can you do? You know, not much.
Yeah, I do communicate stuff like that often, but I also play with all muted sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
But
you
I mean,
gotta.
yeah.
I mean, I try to
that's the
communicate.
genuine
My methodology now is like I try to communicate with people, and the second they prove to me that like reasonable communication doesn't work, then I just mute them and play my own game.
Yeah,
At least try to.
I also get tilted by the suggestions sometimes. Like, I would rather not read that.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
Double kill. Killing spree.
Yeah, these are all just bad TPs by you.
Yeah, okay.
You're just you look like you feel obligated to your team to show
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
That's
I need to be
exactly what
more
it looks like.
consistent about.
Yeah, just play your own game.
decisions.
Like your hero's either useful or it's not. I'll just tell you, you know, Quakeful 100% calls this the BSJ TP. I still sometimes do it. My MMR is simply going up because I've lowered the occurrences, but it still happens. Okay. Just being confident in whether or not you're useful is all that really matters. Like, do I want to fight? Am I ready to fight? Some games it's really close, but in most of these situations, unless you are like very certain your hero will be useful in these fights, you just need to keep farming. It adds up after like 3 TPs back to base. It just adds up. If you're like people asking like, are you really telling him to AFK? It's like, are you guys seeing his participation in the fight?
Yeah.
He's like popping BKB and running away. And the other fight, you like stunned yourself. That was the that was the contribution to the fight. I'm not telling people to not show up to fights. I'm telling you guys if you're not useful, there's no point in going to fights. You should just keep farming because at this point you're probably missing 1,500 to 2,000 gold because you're TPing to these fights, right? So, you know, You have an
Yeah.
option. We have one more replay to watch, or we can do a live game. I think you're a player that could use a live game. It's up to you, though. You don't need to do either. If you prefer your third replay, I'm totally fine with that. We can talk about one more game.
I don't have. I have more replays, but I don't think they're that interesting. Like I already got a lot of pointers from those two. So yeah, we can do a live game.
Sure. Go ahead and request a coach on here. And
Yeah, I do need to go to the toilet real quick before though.
Go ahead, man.
All right.
Is BSJ in Europe? Yes, sir. I'm pretty much always in Europe. Pretty much always. No, I only do replays through Patreon right now. BSJ is so good at coaching. Holy shit. Hey, thanks, man. Thoughts on your DPC experience? Obviously, Arkosh is having a lot of issues. A lot of it's not even Dota related. It's a lot of other things, and it's really annoying and frustrating for everybody involved. I wouldn't even say there's specific people at fault. But we're not playing Dota according to our skill level, so it's not like a Dota related issue.
Yeah, I'm back.
Sup, man?
I do have 2 questions before we start.
Sure.
Like 2 other questions. Item builds. So I had a game against PL on as Wraith King, and should I always go Radiance against PL? Is that what you do?
In your bracket, I would always build to scale against the enemy scaling heroes. I would always build to scale in your bracket. Always. I would never aim for timings. I would always aim for whatever allows me to contest him mid to late game. So yes, I would go Radiance against PL. I'd probably go like Radiance BKB or Radiance Manta, depending on what heroes they have, and like probably even a Mjolnir against PL specifically.
Yeah, okay.
Like I'm building to scale, period. Yeah, it's just if you go any other build and you die once or twice, you're just gonna lose. So
Yeah. And another specific question is Battle Fury on Ursa. When should I go it?
I'd say in your games you're likely to want to go it.
Yeah, okay.
Because once again you're building to scale rather than hit a timing. Yeah, I mean, I would generally lean towards Battle Fury on Ursa. If
I had an Ursa game against PL2 actually.
Yeah.
And my team was flaming my Battle Fury. Yeah.
I mean, Battle Fury Ursa has been pretty popular for a while, so
okay.
People are just weird.
So not
understandable that you're asking. I'm just saying, like,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would if I were wanting to smurf and win in 2K, I would buy a Battle Fury on Ursa.
Yeah,
like, that's what I'm saying. Not that I would ever do that, but
all right.
Go ahead and request a coach, and I'll reload it. Let me know when you've requested.
Yeah, I have requested.
Okay.
Do I need to queue or?
No, I should be able to find you. There you are.
All right.
You can now queue. It'll take me into the game. I'll stop sharing my screen with you. So you said Wraith King, Alchemist, and Ursa are your 3 heroes. Pick one of those. Totally up to you.
Okay.
Which one you want to play based on what we see. I'm not nearly as concerned about how good it is for either of the heroes you're playing. Let's just focus on, what you're against and how we deal with it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so this might take a while at this time to find a match.
Yeah. See what happens. No rush.
Yep.
I was late to our coaching anyway, so. Your voice is a bit low. Shouldn't be. Is it, guys? Does anybody else feel that way? Was I just not talking directly into my mic? I think Wraith King's actually pretty enjoyable to play. His macro game's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Wraith King rewards like understanding constant pressure or constant presence on the map because your skeletons are like a snowballing farming ability. If used properly, you're just like
Killing spree.
constantly farming really fast. If used improperly, it's like long periods of low amounts of farm. So I think it's fun to play him for that.
Yeah, I noticed that. I used to play Skeleton King, like when he was still called that.
Yeah.
And then I kind of stopped playing him when they changed, when they introduced the skeletons. Because I found them like kind of clunky and weird to use. But I've been getting into it.
Yeah. What I like about Dota is that what I'm trying to teach people is that all these goals you have, you know, the way you play the map and how to think about the game, it's the same on every hero, but every hero has different ways of making it work. So you're kind of like trying to solve the same puzzle with different pieces, you know, and that to me makes Dota very interesting. On the heroes where I slowly understand the pieces that they have, you know. But yeah, I mean, some heroes are more exciting than others to the viewer, at least. Wraith King's definitely not up there as exciting to the viewer.
Yeah.
Carry versus Necro offlane Drow carry. Necro offlane Drow carry. Probably Bloodseeker is what I would pick there. Oops. Tried to load heroes and... Dude, what did I even load here? I clicked hero tab and it's like loading something. Oh, I loaded the same game? Very interesting. Or Monkey King, probably. Sniper. Sniper's good too. Sniper. Monkey King. Or Bloodseeker. Let me know if you find a game for some reason, just in case it doesn't let me know. You've had difficulty versus Drow? I'm not really sure. People don't really pick Drow in my bracket. There's very few Drow players. Like, I don't think she's very good right now. I just don't have much experience on her this patch because nobody picks her. Fucking noob Bloodseeker. Let me see. I'm pretty sure Drow's win rate in Herald is like 54%, and in my bracket it's less than 50. But that might have changed.
I play against her a lot.
Yeah, I know. Drow's a noob hero, even though she's not easy to play. Where is it? Meta, heroes, meta, Drow. Yeah, so Drow's win rate in Herald is 53%. In my bracket, it's 48. So I just don't see Drow. The thing about Drow is she's just like Silencer, where if you just like don't go on her and you don't buy items against her, she just kills you. So, but if you buy items and you go on her, she's not very good. I think some patches it changes, but right now I think that's where Drow's at. Yeah, exactly. If your team knows that they're supposed to go on the Drow, she's not a very good hero. I agree.
Yeah.
That's pretty much Drow right now.
Dire should look to their middle tower.
It is really funny that Drow's win rate varies so much. I wouldn't really have thought of her as like a quote-unquote noob stomper, but what do you buy against Silencer? Purges. Dispels.
Got a game, I
Manta,
think.
Satanic. Nice.
Timer reset, at least.
Oh, are you lying to me or what?
Well, the timer reset at the bottom. That's usually when you find a game.
Hero targeting is poo-poo at low MMR? Of
What?
course.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruno told me that healing heroes are generally very OP at low MMRs because they punish the lack of focusing targets.
Ban something. 5 seconds.
I think Slardar is a slept-on hero. I think he's better than most people give him credit for. I think there's just better heroes, generally. But I think Slardar is probably like high B tier, maybe even low A. It's just he's not like always pickable. But I think Slardar is nice. Drow
Yeah.
has 50.6% win rate, Divine Immortal. Dota Buff says 48%.
We got a mid Rubik first pick.
Very nice.
I guess I get last pick. Yeah.
Hey, if you're gonna pick Wraith King, you might as well just pick it now. I don't see a
Yeah.
reason not to. But it looks like
I might
maybe this
pick
guy
another
is-
hero.
Okay, I guess so. Don't lose too much gold. Is this guy gonna pick the good old support
know if he
ancient
picks-
aberration? That's nice.
Well,
Okay, so you're against Venge Tusk. It's a lot of physical damage. Maybe Tusk Hoodwink. Either way, it's a lot of physical. You definitely need a salve in this lane because they are probably gonna chuck spells at you, and you're gonna be like 200 HP. So like they're pretty low damage though. So I'm probably going Tango Salve, Ring of Protection, Quelling. And I think that's all your gold. Is that all your gold?
Branches. Yeah.
Yep, that's it then. Probably stick afterwards since they do a lot of they cast a lot of spells. You know what? Actually, drop the tangos and the Ring of Protection and go stick in like 2 branches, and then you're gonna fly yourself tangos.
Okay.
You definitely need to start with a salve.
I've had a lot of trouble against Hoodwink. S4.
Yeah, defensive creep aggro, quelling blade trees consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do either of those things, you'll have trouble. Yeah, so drop the Ring of Protection, go quelling in 3 branches, or sorry, stick in 3 branches, and then be ready to fly yourself tangos.
Yep.
Main event.
So against lineups, or as heroes like Wraith King, that have sustain issues early but no longer later, I tend to notice people like to go a salve at the start more often and fly themselves tangos.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because you just want to dodge that one portion of the lane where they go on you and bring you down to 200 and then you don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah, I've
is
had that a few times.
definitely a stun lane, by the way. You'll definitely want
okay.
to take stun here. Assuming it's a double stun heroes you're against. Be careful. They could definitely kill you. You should be chopping trees for vision. I always do this. Like you should be you should be hanging out further to the left while chopping trees to see people. So like you should chop this one. Yeah, keep vision of the area while staying in position. Yeah, they do a shit ton of damage, so be very cautious unless we see people. We see Venge mid. Looks like it's probably Hoodwink Tusk or Hoodwink Tiny maybe. Either way, a lot of damage, a lot of stun.
The battle begins.
Yeah, it's Hoodwink Tusk. A lot of defensive aggro. If you allow them to commit onto you when Tusk is right next to you, that is not good. You can even tell your Grim to secure range. You can tell him like, hey man, look to nuke the range. Don't block. Don't defensively aggro into tower. So if you defensively aggro, you'll move them to the right rather than to the tower. It's super important as long as it's not in tower. So, but here you can defensive aggro to your range. Yeah. Run. Very good. Very good. Need to be hitting creeps, enemy creeps when you get the chance. Like defensively aggroing and hitting creeps. Yeah, so you don't want the lane pushing this hard into you is what I'm trying to say. We'll talk about that after the game. Defensive aggro. Defensive aggro again. Yep.
And then the next task is to not miss the CS. That's fine. Grimstroke's griefing. Hit that deny, boy. Go back and block your creep wave. Oh gosh. Unfortunate. Okay, your Grimstroke's not here. Be very careful, sir. Oh, that's way too close. Holy shit.
Yep.
Yep, that's way too close. Way too close.
Yep.
People say I talk too much.
You will die a million times if you step out of position in this lane. You will literally die a million times. So, gotta be way more cautious. Defensive aggro from max range. Defensive aggro the second you can. Stun Tusk, maybe. But defensive aggro, please. No, defensive aggro and hit. Defensive aggro and hit. That's the name of the game. Defensive aggro again. Yep, got a defensive aggro off cooldown, or you're just not going to get CS. There you go.
Whoops.
Buy boots when you can.
Yep.
Level your skeletons. Be careful. Hover to the left. You see Tusk. You're opposite the lane of him. That's how this works. You mirror Tusk movements. There's creeps over here. Go to them. Your Grim ran at the Tusk. You're just a distraction. You need to back off as well. Run, run, run. Quelling Blade Tree is near you. Be ready to Quelling. Salve up. Don't get it popped. You're gonna jungle now. Go to the medium camp here. Yeah, this is a botched lane. Actually, kill the small camp. Kill the small camp with your skellies. Hurry, hurry. Use it, use it, use it. As long as we're getting the CS, it's okay. Grimstroke will help him fuck off a little bit. Go left. You're not going back to lane. Lane's over. Try to hit all the creeps. Like, kill the creeps. Like, hit the ones that are low. Don't spread the damage.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like I would never leave this early normally.
Well, you're level 4, man. Or level 3, I mean. You got 4 skillies. Summon skellies on this guy and then walk to the big camp. Actually, they're gonna go to the small camp, so go to the small camp. That's where they're gonna go, so. If the lane pushes into your tower, you can return. You can even, you know... Yeah. Perfect.
Oh,
nice. Now you can return to lane for 1 wave. That's what you've earned. So you need to push these creeps as fast as fucking possible. Level crit. Hit creeps. Stop denying! Hit fucking creeps. Get out of here before Hoodwink comes back. Sense of fucking urgency. Kill the creeps. Kill. I don't fucking care. Push the fucking creeps. And then Hoodwink's alive, so you get the melee creep and you're out. This is what you get for denying creeps. Now get the fuck out. Run. Just leave. Just leave. Ignore all this bullshit. Summons creeps over here. No, you're going fucking Midas, bro. Queue it up. Stand on this side of the creep camp. Be smart about positioning. Go up here. I go and walk to the next camp. All good if she steals them. Not much you can do. Tusk is coming over most likely. He's missing. We are not engaging Tusk. We can look back at the lane and see what's going on over there. Tusk has double bracer, full health, full mana. Make sure you give vision of this before that creep dies, so your skeletons run that way. Ignore your Grim. Nothing you can do to help him. Mute him if you have to.
Mid. Yep.
Mute him if you have to. You have skeletons
That's
again?
fine.
Soon. Use your stick. You have full stick. Pick up the bounty.
I'm gonna mute this guy too. Summon Skellies when you get the chance. Yep.
So no boots, straight Midas? Oh,
Yep.
we have
Yeah, of
our
course.
boots, yeah.
Are you landing? Can you do this with a Midas?
Nope.
What you're doing right now?
Yep.
Go to the medium camp before the creeps die. Yeah, that one. Good. I'm just looking bottom, man. You're not returning to lane because you guys fucked this lane good. Watch out for the stun.
Oops.
Oh.
Yep.
The other one's gonna stun too.
They need to get used to that one.
You can stun it if you need to. You should also just move to the other side of it rather than spending all the time not hitting it.
Oh, right, so it doesn't turn.
Yeah, it doesn't turn. Yeah. Summon Skellies now and run to the big camp. Left. Sorry, left.
Yeah.
Don't hit the big guy. Do not hit the big guy until you've killed the small ones. Start hitting the other small one. Okay, kill the Skellies when he summons them. Yeah. Bottom tower. Dude, TP in and just get the XP. Don't show yourself. Just TP in. TP in.
I got stunned.
No, to
didn't.
top.
Wait, what? I clicked the minimap. I clicked the minimap.
no.
Oh my god.
GG.
Well,
Now you're here. Farm it up.
that's really bad.
Indeed. It's okay, man.
Quite
It's over
funny.
now. Yeah, top lane. There's a fight going on. Looks like you guys are winning it. Gyro's having a rough one, too. You're gonna farm your way back towards the bottom. Don't worry about that big camp. Or summon Skellies. Summon Skellies. You're sitting here without Skellies. Make your way to the small camp before this dies. Yeah, TP really griefed the map.
Yeah.
It's okay. Pick it up and go to the next camp. You don't need to stay here this long. Just go. Please stop hitting this camp. You pick that up and go. Make your way towards bottom ASAP. Really important. You don't have Skellies, so just walk all the way bottom, please. Tusk TP top. Oh, Dawn took the lane. Never mind. You're farming here now.
Yeah, so this happens a lot actually when I walk to a lane and a teammate.
I mean,
TPs
you're
there.
literally 2 minutes late to the lane, so
this
this is 100% your fault.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like late in the game also often.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but
if somebody TPs the lane in front of you, they get it. So.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Summon Skellies and go to the left. You're gonna go mid next. Kill this camp. Yep, run to mid as soon as you can, probably right now. Go farm the small camp first since Tiny's sitting here, not pushing.
Oops.
Make sure you're in XP range of this creep. Yeah, so like go right here.
So Hoodwink
Go hit the range creep. Just be very cautious. Hit it, kill it, and then back off. Yeah. Back off a little bit. Wait and see. Okay, yep. You can walk back up again. You have permission. You see where they are. Keep doing that. Yeah, exactly. Gyro's behind you. Yeah, you can walk bottom. Walk bottom. You see most heroes top. Most heroes are towards top. Actually, buy your Midas and a TP, please. That one TP was so fucking bad. Holy shit. Okay. Walk all the way bottom right now. You need to have sense of urgency. Walk bottom. There's a fight going on mid we don't want to be a part of. We need to immediately advance on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Your items
So hold my skill point, right?
Yeah, hold it. Summon Skellies on the wave. You're probably getting the next wave and then you're out of here. Try to get the CS.
On which creep should I use Midas?
Just use it. I don't care. Honestly, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Generally, I lean towards range. Go big camp. Big fight going on mid. Clear this as fast as you can. You can go ahead and level your crit once. Now you're farming left because you forced a reaction. Go ahead and go to the next camp. Try to Quelling Blade trees on your path there. Good. Big fight going on mid. Since you see 3 heroes mid, I want you to walk back to bottom lane and push it out. Hoodwink's level 8. Summon Skellies. You're going to need it to push against Hoodwink. Yep. I can see why you struggle against Hoodwink. You don't chop trees randomly, which means you get stunned. Yep. And just back off. You're good. You're doing your job. Go small camp. Buy the phase boots. Make sure you Midas the big bird over there. You can walk back to the camp at the end of this. A lot of fight going on mid here. You're doing a good job of keeping Hoodwink bottom, so you're not completely useless in the game. Yep. Midas it up. Go back to wave. We see enough heroes. Right now, we go back.
Killing spree.
Summon Skellies when you can.
I almost feel strong again.
Yep, just ignore that guy. Keep summoning Skellies. Push the wave. Go back to big camp, but be cautious. Yep, perfect. Nailed it. Try to kill that creep and then walk left. Wait for the camps to respawn. I'd say go big camp first. Because you want to make your way left. Looks like Grimstroke's coming bottom. You can maybe kill this Hoodwink, depending on his positioning. Just be kind of ready. Don't need to force it. TP top, actually. Usually you want to TP next to the creeps that are dying, but it's okay. Go next wave. You have plenty of information on the map. You saw hero mid, you see gyro, you have wards here. Just push, no skellies. Because you don't need them to push this, is why. Okay, you see gyro coming, you're just going to go back to your ancients. Actually, no, go big camp, sorry. You see gyro, go, no, this big camp, this big camp. This big camp. No, this one, this one, no, no, no!
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
I was
can you not see my
clicking there,
pings? Can you not see my
No, I was clicking there. Some pathing thing happened. I don't know.
Yeah, I just missed the stack, sadly. Yeah, Midas on the big one, or on the other one. You can actually walk at this guy, I think. He doesn't really do anything to you. Make him use spells.
Yeah, no
Level
tower
your
here
W.
either.
Yep. Yep, just run away now. Just run. Is he going on you, actually? Yeah. Stun his ass. Up.
Reach.
Nope. Such is life. Okay. I would summon Skellies and... Actually, no. Just keep going. You see heroes. The gyro's kind of in no man's land. Like, they're not playing the map well. Buy yourself a TP, please. Go next wave with Skellies.
Mega kill.
What's my item build?
Probably need an armlet still. Summon Skellies, please. You're farming at the speed of a fucking snail. Walk to the small camp, please. It's fine, go big camp. It's okay if Dawn takes your CS. Not much you can do about it. Yeah, you need to get better at flying yourself TPs. Maybe it's my fault. TP bottom now.
Yeah, no, I forget sometimes for sure.
TP bottom, faster. TP next to creeps. You always TP on the opposite side of the tower from the creeps. Midas the catapult. Hit creeps. Hit creeps that are full HP, please. Please spend time hitting creeps. This is vomit inducing. Just hit creeps. Thank you. You can learn to CS them in the meantime. You know, you're missing them, but please hit creeps. You're going to need to back off. You are actually in high danger here. Yep. Run. This extra 2 seconds you're spending in lane because you're not hitting creeps will kill you plenty of times.
Yeah.
Go to small camp. You see 2 heroes mid, so you can actually make your way to the big camp here. You can make your way back to lane. Actually, go right back to lane. We see a ton of heroes mid.
There's no
right
one
back
here.
to
No?
lane we go. Yep. You're going to threaten this tower. You might even get it. Summon Skellies. Then you're going to walk to big camp with your actual hero, though, but let the skellies one down lane first. Perfect. Great. You can make it back to lane since all the heroes are kind of dead. After the camp.
Yeah.
Okay. Kill some creeps, dog. Back off when they're alive, which they are. In a sec here. Just see what they do. Just don't get killed. You can hit creeps, but just be cautious. Okay, back off. TP top.
Dusk Shadowblade.
TP top. TP top.
Yep. Just didn't want him to stop me.
Summon skellies. Go Midas a creep, very good.
I can just let my ulti now, right?
Yeah, go ahead. 2 points it up.
I
Walk
got
down
another
lane
point,
to make your
actually.
skeletons follow you. Your team is smoking towards you, so there might be a kill opportunity, but you don't have global, so this is like either one guy and you assassinate him, or you're not actually fighting. I assume you're flying yourself an armlet.
Yep.
You can go to the small camp. You forced heroes bottom, so you should feel pretty safe. Yeah. This is good. Yeah. Nice. No need to chase. That guy's got 2,500 HP. Oh, shit, we got a Donald. Just back. I think we're done here. This is making me really scared. Just fly yourself a TP.
Yep.
Walk towards mid. You force them top, so walk towards mid. Farm towards mid. Summon skellies. You keep not doing that. Oh, there's a gyrocopter here. He has no mana on gyrocopter. They're going on you with Tusk, but I think you guys are kind of strong here if they fight into you. Just be careful. Your Rubik's just not here. Just back off. That's a lot of heroes. Just back. It's a lot of fucking heroes. Just don't get caught here. Keep backing. Keep backing. You can actually TP bottom. Walk it up. Hurry. Fast. Midas. A lot of heroes on their team showed up here, so you're going to look to kill the tower. It's very low. You can walk up to it and kill it. And then you're out. Yep, just kill it and out, dude. Kill it and out. Ignore this fuck. Run. Run. Nice. Now go farm small. Small? Okay. Maybe your team wants to do something here. Maybe you look for the hoodwink. I don't know why your team all showed up, but guess they saw Wraith King disabled, just like the draw. Summon skellies on this camp and run to the next one. You don't need to help them at all. Quelling Blade Trees in your way, like this one. It's okay though. Use that item. It's better than your current item. I feel like you were gonna place it back. Go to the next camp. You're staying way too long at camps.
Yep.
Yeah, literally the only thing wrong here, this ends up getting coached to 2Ks a lot, is you're just not fast enough. You don't stand on top of creep waves not hitting shit. You don't hold skeletons. You don't stay with your skeletons as long as you are. Most of your movements here, obviously directed by me here, are pretty fine, and you're just slow. Like, that hoodwink should not get to fuck with you earlier. She probably shouldn't fuck with you as much now. It just needs to be faster, right? And all these things these enemies are doing where they look like they're chasing you around, instead of, like, almost catching you, they're just not, you know?
Yeah.
So it's going to further slow you down by being slower, because the opponent will get chances to fuck with you when you don't want them to. But I just want you to realize, because we're in a pause, that the opponent has been responding to your movements for the last, like, fucking 10 minutes. And that's, like, exactly what we're going for. People think you're just farming, but you're not. They've been responding to you consistently. Okay, so go left after this. You can go now. Actually, walk to mid lane. Yeah, you see a bunch of heroes bottom. See how we, like, adjust our farming patterns based on information? Super important to keep doing that. You have permission for this creep wave and the next one. Gyro's still just sitting on no mana, so might make sure you minus the catapult.
Great. Go at the gyro, man. They're all bottom. Run at the gyro. He's so low. Get the Arcane Rune and walk at him. Buy a Deso. Yep. If these camps are here, they're yours. Otherwise, walk to top lane. Yep, go top lane. The wave's gonna be like right here. Please cut the wave. Like you're taking a super long path. It's fine though.
Yeah, okay.
You also leave your armor on all the time. Gotta get better at that. You can stun this guy. Like summon Skelly, stun him. Yep. This is 2k for you if you farm properly.
Yeah.
Okay, go to this camp now. Great. Go advance on the map. We see heroes. So go here now. You'll make your way back to the lane. You can go back to lane now. These creeps will finish it off. Turn armlet off on your way to places. Kind of painful.
Yep.
Yep. So now you're hitting creeps, but you're missing them all. So in the future, you just gotta not miss them. You can go back to the big camp now. This one over here. Take your branch out of your inventory so you get the Deso.
Yep.
There you go. So we see heroes, which means we're gonna walk towards mid lane rather than our own triangle. So we're gonna use the last 15 seconds of the minute to advance. This is going to allow us to potentially connect to a fight if it happens and we want to. But either way, keep going. Don't worry about this kind of shit. You could literally drop them and destroy them. And be
I do that often, actually.
Go ahead and summon Skellies and run into their jungle. Don't show your hero.
I shot my hero.
It's fine. Just walk into their jungle. You're farming backwards now. So you take this camp and back. Or just farm backwards afterwards. Perfect. Yep. Making your way back top. No need to rush, since there's no pressure to create anyway. You don't have Skellies. Go back to lane now, because you're going to miss creeps if you don't. You're really good at aggroing the ghost creep, so you walk really slow.
Yeah.
I would have probably just turned around and one-shotted it, but it's all good.
Yeah, true.
Keep going. You have a fight bottom. TP. This is good. The TP. Dude, get the Deso charges. I would have hit the Venge once. Okay. Yeah. Walk back to mid. You're nothing to do here. So summon Skellies at this camp and then walk your way back to mid. Now just go back to mid now. Yep. Exactly. Advance on the map. Heroes are dead. We want to be efficient in the meantime. Skeletons are ditching you. Very nice. Go walk mid. Push it out. Buy yourself a TP. We're going BKB next. Go. Kill the next wave. It's coming right now. Help your Rubik at the rune. So... yeah, finish the wave though. Rune spawns in 7. Yep, there you go. Perfect. Just follow the Rubik wherever he goes. Like, just helping him with the rune. Perfect. Haste rune. Okay, he's not even getting it. You can walk up into their triangle. You see 2 top. Don't be afraid. Yeah, be ready. Rubik's gonna lift him, I think. I would not kite to low ground. That's literally the worst thing
I
to do.
noticed that just now.
Get out. You gotta get out. You're probably dead now. Yeah, this is... okay, we're gonna talk about this. So I gave you permission to walk into triangle because there's 2 top, and your retreat path was towards top. That's why this is wrong. If you retreat to the bottom right over here, or to the bottom left, none of this shit happens. But you literally just walked in between the 2 places we saw them on the map, so they sandwiched you. That's really
yeah, okay.
So yeah, I think that was the literal worst thing you could do when he snowballed you, was walk to the low ground towards top. It just got you killed. The move itself is fine, but the execution was obviously terrible. Please move your branches to the stash. while you're dead for 30 seconds.
Your middle tower is under attack. Will one
You can buy the Mithril
this?
You are probably going to walk bottom, move the Quelling Blade to stash too. Yeah, let's walk bottom. Lane's pushing into us, but we are strong enough to fight, so we don't want to take ourselves out of the game. So walk bottom. We see Tiny top. He has Blink. Looks like he's going BKB on Tiny. Walk straight to the lane. Walk, walk, walk. We need to reset the lanes, and then we can look to join our team again. So we're going to summon Skellies as soon as we can. We're going to clear this waves, and then you're going to... You can go and make your way this way. Go towards the small camp. They're all missing, though, so we need to be a bit cautious. We see Tusk now. Looks like they just... No, they did not smoke. They look like they did. Don't do this medium camp. Just farm here. No, the left, sorry. You want to be a bit cautious now. Make it a kind of way to your team. Your team is just dying, though, so you want to go back bottom. Yeah. You can farm this medium camp now. Like, you can farm your way there. We just need you to get your BKB. Walk bottom. Tusk has a BKB, he used it. Tiny has a BKB, did not use it. Gyro's going Lincoln's, he will have it by the time you fight him. Walk to lane, ASAP. They're roshing. We need to try to threaten this tower as best we can. So you're going to summon a new volley of Skellies. But you're going to need to leave preemptively, because you don't have a BKB. So you don't like hit the creeps, no, they're TPing, run. Sorry. They're TPing. Just go to the big camp. TP to Roche, maybe they haven't completed it yet? TP top, tier 1. Go. You don't have BKB, but... damn. Okay. Yeah, all that just needed to be a tad faster. I don't know if it would have worked anyway, but... Almost have BKB. Farm Ancients for it. Go top. You need your BKB. You see a hero mid, so run as fast as you can. Just make sure your team knows. Like, ping your item. Oh, farm.
Dominating.
Skellies. Keep going. Your Skelly, you're definitely still lingering at camps. We're not prioritizing farm speed at all.
Dominating performance.
Get your BKB. Keep going. Yep, I mean, 90% of what I can tell you is you're just too slow. 90% of it's fine if it's because it's live coaching, but it's definitely too slow. Go ahead and come back to this camp. You see them all on the map. You have BKB. Your team is going to respawn. You still have... You'll have Dawnbreaker ulti when they're all alive. Farm right here. You're going to buy a blink. Actually, retreat left. Retreat like this.
I was gonna say, aren't they gonna come from the right?
Yeah. You can actually run at Hoodwink. You see 2 mid. Just run at him.
Yeah, that's it.
So, skeletons first and then stun. Oh, come on, dude. Where are you going? Run at him!
I don't have a Quelling.
Is that tree not cut? Is that path not open? I feel like it is.
Nope.
Oh, maybe it's not. Midas.
Oops.
Walk down the lane. You saw them all mid. You have a bunch of heroes here.
Lane.
I mean, Gyro has the most useless items of all time. You're with your team now. You've got BKB. They're coming from this direction. You should fight. Just up to you to do it smart. They're here. Yeah. Walk in, man. You're a Wraith King with a BKB. Where are you going? Play with your team. Play with your team. Oh no.
And oh.
Oh no.
Hello, this is Gabe Newell. Thanks Thanks for playing Dota 2.
Just bad execution.
Yep. You're the guy that's supposed to get gone on. You saw a hero and ran away. Not really sure what to say about that.
Impossible.
Yeah, I wanted to run at the Tusk instead. I didn't see it eventually in time.
I see.
Yeah.
You need to run at heroes that are near your heroes because
Yeah, true.
you don't do anything if you're tanking and it's away from your team. So
Yeah.
if you see your teammates, the way you look at it is like, I need to be ready for anyone who comes near my teammates.
Your top tower has fallen.
Yeah, our map movements don't really do much if we randomly die in these executions. Like the one at their
Yeah,
triangle,
I've-
and then this one too. It's kind of just lost us the game, I think. We're still trying. They have AC being built on Tiny. They have a ton of damage coming out. So they'll probably need to overextend into our base. We're going to walk bottom again. Wait, we have no global, no... And we have Dawnbreaker ult again. You're going to need a blink to jump this hoodwink. So go ahead and TP bottom, actually. TP bottom. TP bottom. Yeah. I want you to farm back towards your team. So just pick up this bounty, kill this camp, and farm back towards your team. Summon Skellies, Midas. Please go faster. Towards your team! Towards your
of course, sorry.
team! I can be more specific if I need to be. Summon Skellies,
Yeah, no, my
farm the
fault,
camps.
sure.
Farm this next one. You make your way towards your team. You actually see Gyro bottom, so if you run into somebody right here, it could be good.
No gyro?
Oh, go! Go, go, go! Yeah. I mean, I don't know about that global. Run, 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 run. Oh, that Tusk has no BKB. Oh, no. Oh, just run if you can get out. It's really good. Run to the top lane, all the way to top. Run, run, run.
I guess. Mega kill. Double kill.
Your team's just casting spells really bad, too.
That was unreal.
Sell your stick at the side shop. Run, run, run. I mean, that global did literally nothing. Okay. Push it out. You're going to have blink. When we have blink, we're going to need... Push, 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 push! Where are you going? I can't keep microing this stuff. There's 5 heroes showing. 5. I probably
Yeah,
should
I'm
keep
just
microing
slow.
it.
Yeah.
Yep, big camp. Midas, summon Skellies, run down the lane. Run down lane. Summon Skellies, run down lane. Go, go, go. Faster, faster, faster. You can look to TP back. Probably wait for your blink to get to you. They're not really pushing. They're missing now, so we need to run left. This is where you TP base, call for... Oh, run, 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 run. Blink away. Blink towards... TP you to your team and call a smoke.
Let's smoke.
where we
No
smoke.
hood pig. No gyro.
Yeah. Go, 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 go. This is good.
Gyro stop too.
Run at them. Run at them. No fear. Run at this guy. You just forced 2 TPs. Fuck him up. I don't care. Chase, 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 chase. Chase, chase, chase. Where'd he go? He's over here. Oh, God. Is he going to get out? Oh, my God.
Well,
It's painful. Doing such good moves, and then we just never make use of them.
I safe to farm this.
I don't know. Run to triangle with your team.
No information.
No, we have information. We saw Tiny bottom and we saw 2
Yeah.
heroes top, so we can actually... They're separated still. Gyro has bots. You probably should have a sense
He's
of
alone.
urgency to run at heroes, yeah. He's super fast, though. Oh, Grim might catch him. Chase, chase, chase. He has no Lincolns. Just farm creep wave. Just farm here in the next wave. Keep advancing. Here and creep wave. Here, here, here. Oh. Gone? No.
Well,
Okay, just BKB and try to get out. No? Okay.
I thought I pressed it.
Rough. Very rough.
I feel like my team could have followed me a bit more. No.
No, they should have. They should have.
Yeah. Yeah, I just need to get faster and more consistent.
Yep. That's a nice lesson to learn from this game. I
Yeah,
feel
for sure.
like I spent half the game yelling at you to press your buttons, basically. And if you're telling me that you play Wraith King, Alk, and Ursa, like if that's the main 3 heroes you play, and you're not super efficient on the heroes, then I've seen all types of things. I remember I had like a 2K Wraith King that was like mainly a Wraith King player, and he farmed super fucking fast on Wraith King and just had terrible movements though, so he lost games. I feel like for you, based on what I saw in your other games, your movements really aren't that bad. You're just super fucking slow. Like,
I actually have a white hero pool.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Basically, every patch I play like 3 or 4 heroes pick.
And it's always like different, you're saying?
Yeah, most of the time. Some I keep the same. Like I play Luna as my most played hero.
I see. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and play the game out. You have buyback on Dawn. That guy has no Lincolns now. On Gyro. Time to go, I think. If we can find it. You can go Hoodwink's a good target too. Oh. Reset, they BKB'd. Blink!
Oh no.
That might be the live coaching factor that we're just not pushing buttons.
Yeah. And I told
Buttons
my
are not
armlet off
being
again.
pressed.
Yeah.
Your armlet usage is clearly unnatural. At the end of the day, you probably just don't play armlet heroes very much. I mean, all the stuff I would say that was mainly your issue is that you're needing to focus on summoning skeletons and walking from creep camp to creep camp. If you're focusing on that, you're 100% going to fuck up decision-making in team fights. Okay, I'll tell you, I do that. Okay? Like, if I'm playing a hero where I'm so focused on farming that that's like all my brain power, then I will lose track of enemy heroes on the map. I will randomly find myself ganked by 3 or 4 heroes without realizing it. That's the kind of stuff. So 100%, the stuff I had to coach you on in that game was getting shit done faster. And notice how, like, when I told you to start hitting creeps in the creep wave, while you were there, you were just missing creeps. So the lesson for that is to hit full health creeps while the lower HP ones are getting hit by creeps or towers, and then you stop to CS those. So what you were doing a lot was actually hitting the creeps that were getting hit, so you would miss them because you would hit it once, it would die. You would get hit by a tower shot and die between the time that you're able to attack again. So the lesson there is to hit full HP creeps and then time to hit the lower HP ones. This stuff is just super important to go fast. You see the difference there. Like every time they're ganking you, chasing after you. Imagine if you were gone 2 to 3 seconds earlier, right? It's going to be massive. People don't realize it. I'd say up until about 4K, this is really all that matters. Your farming patterns are reasonable. And I'd say like a lot of 4K players lack the actual farming patterns themselves. Like they'll have the efficiency, but they won't have the right patterns. So then that's what keeps them at 4K. But you specifically, I mean, pretty much every 2 or 3K player I coach has a significant issue with either the patterns or like knowing at all where to play the map, or for you, just straight up efficiency. I've seen both sides of the coin. Nothing to be ashamed of. It's actually easy to fix. Much easier to fix. I think you've got some good groundwork for the way you play the map. So what I want you to think about is when you're moving forward, first and foremost, I think you're going to naturally correct the speed at which you do things. But then when you do things, I want you to think about what the opponent's response would be when you do them. I already hashed on it during the game, but it's just like, if we see an opening, we have to understand why it's an opening. So we see somebody top and bottom, or we saw somebody in the triangle and somebody top. So if we take a fight, we want to kite it towards the bottom half of the map so that we know they're separated, so we're kiting it in a way that keeps them separated. That's why we did it. This is like relatively advanced stuff, but based on what I saw, not only in that game, but also in your own games, like from just without me coaching you, you try to make these plays. I see it.
Yeah,
Like, you're actually trying to make these plays.
Yeah.
So if you're going to try to push your limits, which I think is good, I think you can get to 4 to 5K without doing that, to be honest, without going for these super aggressive plays. Understanding the reaction you're forcing ahead of time is super fucking important. Because basically that play you did on Drow in the replay was very similar to the one you did in the triangle just this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Very similar idea. They were separated. You were forcing them to group up, and then you just like played right into it and died, right? So yeah, the thing is, those plays are super high level, actually good plays, but obviously if mis-executed, they backfire super fucking hard. I mean, you lost to this avocado guy who bought horrible items and just farmed safely all game. But that's because, he's just farming AFK safely all game. So that's going to win him some of his 2K games. But like that one time you were moving super fast around the map and he just randomly died to you, it's like, that's what's going to happen if you move fast around the map. People just kind of randomly feed.
Yeah.
You notice these opportunities. They're going to be forced to separate, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, sucks to lose, but at the end of the day, it's like meant to be a learning
for sure.
learning experience. So, do you have any questions about things we talked about during the game? Things you had an idea going into the session you didn't understand and weren't talked about, or do you feel like you've been sufficiently overloaded for the day?
Just, would you recommend I maybe spam Wraith King only and sometimes Alk, or do you think...
I think you should specifically spam any hero you need to get to the proper efficiency. Like, whatever hero. So if you want Wraith King in your pool, you should pick Wraith King 10 games in a row, 15 games in a row. I can just tell you...
Natural,
absolutely. This shit needs to be natural, because what happens is that there's a lot of heroes I played over the time, where I play them once every month, approximately. It's like a good game for Anti-Mage, I'll pick them here.
Yeah.
And guess what? You literally never get better. Like,
exactly.
I'll just remain a trash Anti-Mage player unless I actually spam them. There was like finally a period of time where I picked him like 10 times in 1 week, and I feel much more confident on Anti-Mage now. And you just develop an actual feel for how these heroes want to play the game. You do these little self-correction things where you notice this doesn't work on this hero. But then if you don't play the hero for like a week, then you forgot. You literally forget those little things that you learned in the first one, and then you just repeat the mistakes is what ends up happening. Yeah, all these heroes, you're going to be doing the exact same thing, but they all do it differently, right? So the way Wraith King clears waves efficiently and camps efficiently, all that kind of stuff is super important. Sadly, both lanes I saw you in Wraith King, you're heavily punished for positioning. But I want you to watch that lane back with the understanding that Tusk tag team is what kills you. Like I tried to emphasize that at the start of the lane. And your movements, whether or not that's contesting large camp, whether or not that's laning, you just need to mirror the Tusk. If you watch all the times you die, it's because you're putting yourself near the Tusk, So like there was a large camp by them that got pulled, and generally the large camp be pretty dangerous to go contest in like hard lanes, but the Tusk is the problem, not the lane being hard, right? I need you to like kind of like focus on the prize, eye on the prize, not focusing on lane sucks. Focus on lane sucks because I died to tag team, right? Like that's a big difference in terms of how you're actually going to approach the lane. Because a lot of people that I coach, they default to passivity because they know the lane's hard. That's exactly what you did. You defaulted to like backing up, but I want you to default to playing as far away from Tusk Shard or Tusk, I guess just Tusk in general, such that you can get things out of the lane. And then also, if you're in a lane where if they kill you and you think it's if you think it's replicable, where they can just kill you again, you have to dip. There's no other fucking options. That's why I told you to leave level 3. It's not going to get any better. There's like some lanes where they needed like full health, full mana to kill you, and they used all of their mana to kill you, and so you can maybe return back to lane. But like in that lane, it's literally like 100 mana from Tusk and 2 spells from Hoodwink, which he's going to like clarity up, and they just killed you, right? So, yeah, I do think your problem on Wraith King is that you don't recognize how weak the hero is level 1 and 2 and 3. I wanted to talk to you about it. I actually want to show you this real quick. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is going to go a long ways for you. Can you send me that ID, please? And I'll just quickly show you this.
Which ID?
The one you just played.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you coach or replay a Wave King some time ago. We had talked about that he's very weak early.
Yeah, the hero's like a carry Timbersaw, where like once he gets level 3, level 5,
exactly.
he like sustains himself. But before that, he's quite vulnerable to just getting very bullied. I mean, the difference between him and Timbersaw is at least Timbersaw can kind of fight back level 1 and 2, but Wraith King's not the best at fighting back. He just has bad stats. You know, his skills don't do all that much level 1 and 2, and his base armor is like 2, so the hero just isn't innately strong level 1 and 2. But so what your goal is when you're playing heroes like Wraith King, where you are kind of weak, you're dodging fights. You want to keep the lane right in front of your tower, especially against a lane like this. I'm sharing my screen if you didn't already see it. So what we want to do is we want to keep the lane from pushing into our tower, but we don't want to drag it into our tower. So I want you to see that by you not hitting creeps, what happens?
Yeah, I was feeling it, that the lane was pushing, but I don't know why I didn't.
Yes, so that's exactly the feeling that
creeps.
needs to be registered quickly. You need to know exactly what you're feeling and what it means. If you feel the lane pushing into you and you ignore it, this is what happens. You get 4 creeps shoving into your tower, now 7 creeps, and you're scared. You're gonna, like, the hoodwink's just gonna be able to hit you this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, all we need you to do is mirror what the opponent is doing. So, like, what I do is I know I don't want the lane shoved into me. I want it staying here, right? But I don't want it shoved into me. So, notice that hit, you know, like they're hitting it. We need to hit it, right? So, also, you know, you can level your vampiric aura, and you could be defensively aggroing this whole time here and just hitting creeps to mirror what he's doing. And also, instead of being up here hitting the creeps, you're back here hitting the creeps. So all of this is going to add up to less damage taken, better lane equilibrium, and more, I mean, I guess effectively just sustain, right? Like you're just effectively managing this early game better. So what's happening is because you're not defensively aggroing, Hoodwink's just wailing on you constantly. You're actually up in the lane way too far, which allows him to reliably shackle you here because he knows you're running. Like, so I don't even go for this deny. I don't go for this deny at all. I never go for denies that are end of the creep wave. That's just a recipe for disaster. Looks like you didn't technically go for the deny, but you lingered too long. So in these type of situations, I think the Grim just aggroed, and okay, nothing you can do about that. So this is a classic. Small things in Dota add up, man. You know you have to kill this creep after. Like, you should know this. You know you're going to. Stand right here when you're CSing. Don't walk over to here and CS it. You just missed the deny. Small things add up so much in Dota. I know it's, like, nitpicky, but that literally got you killed because you tried to go for the deny and then got killed. So this is a situation in game where I told you, like, what I recognize here is my support's pulling, or my support's not in lane. That's what I recognize here. So the reason why you suffer against Hoodwink is because you're constantly playing near trees and you're not quelling blading the trees. You should literally treat the trees like they're mines. That's how you need to handle Hoodwink. So you're like, just waddling through the lane near some trees. You're gonna fucking die to Hoodwink. You told me you struggle against Hoodwink, so...
I thought about that before, that I need to chop down trees, but I don't know, I haven't gotten used to doing
so
this.
right now, like, during this whole time, while you're CSing, you're just chopping tree, chopping tree. It's like, people see carries at the highest level. I actually see it all the time when I'm watching other people stream and people are watching my stream. They're like, is he just randomly chopping trees? No. We're chopping them for vision. We're chopping them, especially against a hero like Hoodwink. We're constantly chopping them because any tree is a potential danger. Chopping trees is actually super important. You weren't doing it for farming patterns at all. Like, you'd walk to this camp, you chop this tree. You know, you're walking from here to here, you chop this tree. Like, trees are fucking inefficient, dude. They're in the fucking way. You know, get rid of them. So, small little things for you. Armlet toggling, use of skeletons, chopping trees. Like, actually, you do these, like, 3 things, that's probably at least, like, 300 or 400 MMR. Because that's just straight up efficiency. You're missing CS. You're a lot of people don't realize if you farm slowly, you're actually putting yourself in massive danger because people can catch up to you easier. In regards to your levels 1 and 2 and 3 on Wraith King, you need to get better at defensively aggroing and keeping the lane static. So however much the opponent is hitting it is how much you're hitting it. right? So if you focus on those things, I'm pretty sure it'll clean up a lot. I know hopefully that's not too much redundancy, but okay, I'm done running your ears off. Do you have any final questions?
No, I think that's all.
Sweet, man. Yeah, I hope it helps. I hope this turns into more tangible effect for you. Definitely spam one hero at a time, like you said. Just get this shit down, be confident, muscle memory, and you got this, man. So,
all right. Thank you,
man. No problem. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. What time is it? It's 12:45. Ooh, it's actually the perfect time to go to the facility and eat some lunch. I think that's what I'm going to do then. I wasn't sure if I was going to play during this stream, but I actually forgot I had a coaching session today because I'm just a shitty coach, you know. But I do have. I will be coming back. I will be coming back today to actually play. I'll be back online. Probably going to go lunch and then workout. So lunch will probably take half an hour. Workout will probably take an hour. And then biking back, showering. So yeah, we're probably looking at probably 2.5 hours from now. I will be back to play some pubs. So I apologize for the deceiving title. Was not intended. Gyro from last game is in chat. Okay. Banana, block the map if you don't want ghosting. I always block the map. I'm not going to block the map in a coaching session, though. That guy seems to like experience. Yeah, he said he only really started taking Dota seriously about a year ago. I basically feel like he's trying to make a lot of high-level moves and like do a lot of things that high-level players would do. But he only plays like, 1 or 2 games a day. So it's like really hard for him to have a wide hero pool. It's really hard for him to be as efficient as a top-tier player. And I think some of his moves are actually backfiring because he's making high-level moves, but he's doing them so slowly that it's actually hurting him. So yeah, it's interesting. What's ghosting? Just generally stream sniping. What happens is, it's especially prevalent in Europe servers, but happens in every server, is that people who I'm playing against will load up the stream and watch the minimap. So if we have wards, if they want to know if we're roshing, stuff like that, they'll watch the stream. I mean, ghosting is another word for stream sniping. It's usually referred to as stream sniping. So the person who said ghosting is, yeah, I mean, it's not exactly correct, I would say, but it's not wrong. Why is your coaching session better than 5 Mickey D meals? It's probably not. You're sending a ghost into the stream? Oh! Shit. I'm haunted now. What the fuck? Can you show your past 10 games? Sure. What's our win rate in the past 10 games? Looks like 6-4. Yeah, 6-4. Oof. Based on what I saw, I think that student will improve, yeah. I think he understands the deeper concepts of the game, which is important. It could be simple as he doesn't realize that all he has to do is iron it out on heroes, and he has to be more committed to like the efficiencies of individual heroes. It really could be that simple with him. I probably should have said that more clearly, but yeah, it's definitely his main issue. Like, what I wanted him to get done in the game was just like his TP top was fucking game ruining. Actually, the TP top at level 4, that was so bad. Stuff like that, it doesn't matter how much I teach him. It doesn't matter how much he knows about the game. If he's misclicking buttons and he's doing things slowly, then it's going to fuck him. The funny thing about that early game was he would have actually recovered pretty decently if the second Tusk TP's top, he just goes bottom. He's going to get like a level and a half off of those creeps, and he's going to be like super accelerated, but his like timings were super fucking delayed because he TP'd top there. Super bad. Super bad. No problem, CXW. Yeah, I mean it's interesting because just based on your replays, I can totally tell you understand the higher level stuff. I can totally tell. Implementing it's definitely your problem. Do you enjoy coaching very low MMR players? I for the most part, I enjoy coaching as long as the person's receptive and it feels like I'm reaching them. I'd like to say I generally enjoy a mix of MMR's coaching just because I'd say most people around the same brackets have similar issues. Not always, but most of the time. You made him switch to a lot higher speed. Was that intentional? Whenever I coach people live, they need to operate at a level they need to reliably win games. So I will yell at you to go faster. If there's something that is just blatantly slow, you will be forced to go faster in your game in the game I'm live coaching you. At the end of the day, obviously I'm trying to help, and I'm trying to help them win, but I want them to improve. That's what I care about with the live coaching. So if I'm yelling at him to go faster and he's just not going fast enough, and it's evident in the coaching session that if I don't yell at him explicit things to go places faster and he's not doing it, that's his issue. Like, that's an issue, right? He knows it. He knows it. He's realizing it that if I'm constantly having to yell at him to go faster, then he needs to work on his farming efficiency. Whatever that ends up happening, right? So. Can you suggest some current pub stomping heroes? I have my carry hero tier list. Otherwise, it's kind of looking at whatever I have here, right? I need to make a mid tier list and an off lane tier list, probably a support tier list as well. But okay, guys, I'm gonna go head over get some lunch. I'll be back in like 2 hours, 2.5, somewhere around there. Maybe 3 hours at the absolute most. But yeah, I'll be back. Thanks for watching. Gonna run a quick ad. I will see you guys later. I've got myself some SpongeBob socks. My mom got me these. They're the best. Any other big SpongeBobbers in here? I'm a goofy goober, yeah. You're a goofy goober, yeah. We're all goofy goobers, yeah. Any mid coaching? No. Pretty much all the sessions today were carry. I did. I think I did only carry today. Actually, I think all the replays were carry. Let me check. Carry. Oh wait, no, I didn't do this one yet. Carry. Yeah, all I did was carry today. Such is life.